And we plugged an advert, man. It was the first time I've actually got to plug something on the stream. It's a full-on musty sellout moment. So I'm so proud of myself. Anyway,
are you saying they didn't appreciate the concentrated mustard or whatever?
Well, that might have helped. I don't know if they watched that or not. I don't know if they watched them. Please don't. God, no, don't watch that video. Yeah, no, it's all good news. Anyway, we're having a special today because we usually come on and moan about the state that Twitch is in, and we ask our guests to sort of talk about their favourite games. But in absolute state. But in this special episode, we are going to talk all about Chinese cartoons. Yes, we're going to talk about all.
You'll be right at home there, Michael.
Have you just assumed his ethnicity? Come on.
I know.
Come on, you drink that Pepsi in silence. You drink that Pepsi.
I'm actually trans Asian.
Ooh. It's a bit early for that.
It's too early. I can't. Right. So,
trans ethnic. That's not.
We're having. Unfortunately, we're literally. I've given up my usual hear me out slot to talk all things bad and good taste, and I think we've got the audience for it this evening. So I think we're in for some interesting conversation. So how this is going to work? So yeah, we're gonna take questions. We're gonna talk about upcoming hype. We're gonna talk about all sorts of weird, wonderful stories. Definitely not conversations that we've had on Drunken Nights Out about anime. That's off stream. That's off stream. That's off stream conversation.
Down there is having a drunken night in.
That's off. So anyway, let's finish the introductions because I get sidetracked very easily. You've all seen Ill Intelligence before. Streamer Shinon streamer, and your boy Will, who's a long time subscriber. But we've got a new guest who's sat right above me Mika-san Lee. Has dabbled in a little bit of streaming himself under the name of Polarity, but he is of course the longest subscriber of the channel with a grand total of 19 years subscribing to this channel, and is of course who was the number one. It was the first ever follower of the channel as well. So that's how long he's stuck by.
1,040
the whole way through. Even though there's a time where I didn't really follow.
Oh, it's coming out now.
I mean, it is coming out, but at least click the follow. So it was like his heart was in it, but then it sort of realised. Oh, he's getting somewhere. I best check in and make sure he's like. Oh, and then he's got affiliate now. Which goes. Oh, he's actually putting a bit of effort into this. I'll probably use my subscription now because I feel kind of bad. So yeah, this is the destination. Michael has been there. He's followed me since affiliate to this point now where we've got this epic partnership, and this partnership is, as far as I know, is lasting for a good few months to come. And then it could give this. It's epic, absolutely epic. So yes, we're having a sort of chill chat this evening, all about anime. So. One of the main features that we do usually talk about our top five games, but in this special we're going to talk about. I've devised this. There was not 5 minutes ago before the stream started. This above me is where the hot seat is going to be. Now, each in turn, they're going to be dragged on top of me. They will sit on top of me, and they're going to be in the hot seat, and we're going to rate them on their taste. We're going to rate them 1 to 5 on what they're saying for their top 5 anime. And these animes could be absolutely anything from OVAs to series to films. Absolutely anything. Related to the weird and wonderful, wacky cartoons from the Far East. A little bit of backstory. Oh, you spoiled it! Oh my god, you spoiled it! I'm waiting for the alert. You wait for the alert, and then you go.
I can't hear the alert.
And then you go, newt. Wow, poor goo.
Fucking tears. Are you serious?
Wow.
Oh, no.
Bill's just ruining my stream. Come on. I mean, unlike the friendly competition we have on streaming, but you don't have to. Come on, I invite you on. Ruin it. Honestly. Hey, Mike, thank you very much for 15 months. Thank you very much. I much appreciate that a lot. Hey, Mike, so obviously a very, very long time supporter. He's seen a lot of ups and downs on this stream.
He's seen some shit.
Yeah, when you streaming next, you know?
As soon as you think.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can I officially use this stream to announce the glorious return of regular streaming from
Whoa, Fiber! What?
Can I do that?
I suppose I'm a nice enough person. Go on.
Well, I mean, I can. That doesn't mean I'm going to.
All right. Okay. Oh, he's spoiling it.
I like
spoiling
cannibalizing these dangling things, and then you're each going.
So you'll like this, you know, because I don't know if you saw this, but I purchased an anime video game today, which we're going to be playing very, 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 very soon. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful game.
That game, honestly, like.
Right, no, shh.
When I see it, I'm gonna say.
This isn't a game podcast.
It's not a game podcast. I'm just saying that I'm playing this. I'm playing this game.
That would be associated with like a Necronomicon or something like that. So you open it up and it's like something out of Doom. Or
right.
Craftian.
Yeah, tentacles.
Yes. This isn't right. We can't talk about video games because that's against the rules for this evening.
Right.
Let's start off with a bit of hype from the chat because I think that's a good way to start with this. The biggest hype coming is from AMAX dropped. One Punch Man 2 is coming, and One Punch Man was one of the very first one of the first animes that I watched. And I mean, Will's yawning. It doesn't find it very exciting. Will, what's your favourite? What's your favourite in sort of that sort of genre of?
Well, it's like
let's say like a Pog simulator. Like you watch it and you go.
Season 1 of One Punch Man was absolutely fucking brilliant, but so was Mob Psycho Season 1, and Season 2 of Mob Psycho has just been pretty lackluster and shit.
Wait,
so
whoa, right, okay. And sorry, this is where we have to have our first debate of the evening. How can you say that Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 is bad?
First of all, it doesn't count to 100.
No, it's 99.9. That's the point. It's the mysterious percentage you don't know because you've already seen what happens when it gets to 100. But this is like a whole different thing.
I don't know, like Mob Psycho, like it was kind of like it was alright because we did it like weekly, like in the site.
Well, it comes out weekly.
But like now I'm watching it like here at home alone, and it's so kind of boring. It's like it's reset back to stage 1. It's like having to slowly start building itself up again. But it's like it doesn't get like proper chugging until it's about halfway through.
I know good chugging animes but we'll get onto that later. We'll get onto that later on.
I would like to about Mob Psycho 102. Because obviously Mob Psycho 100 the entire first season was building up to spoilers, Mob popping his lid. Does it literally reset back to stage 1?
It's like he just goes straight back to like just being some kid helping out and like just doing like little bits.
But that's the point. That's like his life.
So they escalate to this like
that's like his life, though.
And then it just doesn't go anywhere afterward. It just comes back down.
It comes back down to then like really go through it again.
I don't know. I kind of like disagree how it's boring because I think with this season we're getting a lot more character development.
Yes.
So we're getting to see a side of Mob that we don't normally really get to see come out more.
Fuck Mob, he's not interesting. I want the fucking circle and square.
But you just they're in it at the moment. The problem I find with you, Will. Now this is a bit of a diagnosis.
This sounds
problem I find. The way that I see it.
What I sound like after I've had too much vodka.
The way I see it.
You're a bad man and you ruined my university career.
No, right. The way I see it, Will, it's like you want action, and it's like you've got to have a bit of like you've got to take it back a bit and realise what these characters are all about. You just want I know it's like I feel like a bit of a hypocrite saying that because I watched JoJo and that's just like fight every single episode, and it's like, oh my god, like what is this nonsense? It's the best thing ever, and but that's your problem, Will. You can't have that all the time, and you want that all the time. But even like Mob Psycho's like the kind of like nice intertwining thread of bit of nice little story, a nice little like PogChamp fighting. It's all there, but you don't. It's like you don't see it.
Fun. It's just not as good as the first season was, but I think that's because it was like fresher and new.
What are you doing? Kind of Sorry, Craig, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm taking my nasal steroids.
You can tell this is an anime podcast. You can tell. You can absolutely 100% tell. We watch anime alone, and we
just all popped out from holding doors.
I need my nasal spray.
It literally is steroids that have to be nasally sniffed at this time of night. I'm afraid I've got to do it now.
So go on, you go.
Is it just more of the same, or is it literally?
No,
like,
it's not. It's kind of. I think it's
different. I'm not fully up to date with it because it kind of like I got
gave up with
just
it.
Try to like focus on.
So obviously we know we
JoJo because that's an actually good show.
We want to avoid as many spoilers as we possibly can. So immediate apologies for if we talk about any shows and we spoil for any of it. Like that's just going to happen.
We discuss can and will be spoiled. You have been warned.
Will be spoiled.
Well, we don't want to intentionally spoil it if we can. We're not going to say like how JoJo Part 3 ends or Part 4 or like what's happening now, because it's like people like to binge that sort of stuff. But
I think it's fair for like Part 4 to be like spoiled now. It's been over a year.
Well, I mean, I still inevitably intend to watch it at some point.
Like, yeah, if you're doing that, should we not spoil Evangelion? Some people have still not seen it yet.
Also, spend my heart
I was watching that. See, people watching. Put that train. It's. I think One Punch Man is very good as an entry level anime, and I absolutely think it is, because it's not. It almost feels, with the kind of humor that's in it. It almost makes it westerny, if you kind of almost know what I'm on about. Because
I agree. It's sort of like the westernized abridged YouTube parody. Like,
but you could put it on Nickelodeon and everyone would be like, this is still great. It's like that kind of thing. It's not nothing. There's nothing like too complicated to follow. Yeah, it's very easy to follow, and absolutely, I think that's absolutely fine. It's probably why it's like so damn popular. I think it's like why Dragon Ball's really popular as well.
Anime.
Which is what Will's all about. Which is what Will watches.
My Hero Academia is better than it is like an entry.
Hell yeah!
Still superheroes.
I'm a normie now, and I appreciate My Hero Academia now.
I haven't watched any anime in a very long time.
I went to
I gotta watch it.
Cinema and saw a bunch of 12-year-old girls dress up as their favourite boy toy.
I got.
What did you dress up as Frog Girl?
The last anime that I tried to watch, I think, was Children of the Whales.
Right.
And that is not a brilliant show.
Lots of gender ambiguous characters, though.
Well, that's the reason why I watched it, right? Because I saw like the main characters, and I was like, "That's a boy! Whoa!" You know, I'll jump in and go straight for it. But no, it was kind of trite, overblown, bad writing, shallow characters.
Looks pretty though.
Actually, yeah, not in motion though. Oh, unfortunately, it's actually kind of a little bit jerky and very flat looking, but in terms of like the aesthetic and still images and all the rest of it, and some of the character motivations were just not believable at all.
Because better than
to the
JoJo.
point of one-dimensionality. I got to the last episode of it and never finished it.
Just to explain what's going on in chat, just so we know, so Anisok represents the society that we all sat down and like these are all
met
people from
here.
We all met each other and we all watched cartoons together.
I think I could explain anime society to the newbies better than anyone can.
Oh, sorry, because Shino was in charge of putting the cartoons on for us all, so we've got to listen to how he ran it. That's right. Because fasten your seatbelts. This is a warning. Everyone, fasten your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts, and get ready for this tale.
All right, so the Anime Society.
Right, that's enough time. We've got to move on. We've got to move on. So we got to talk about.
We need like this one for 3 hours later.
And basically, that's why
later. No. There's no. We're avoiding inside joke. All I was going to do is that my microphone keeps falling
I
off.
sent it to the union to get Will kicked out of a society that he was currently running.
Stop!
This is
Stop!
This is
never worked.
personal info now.
It's too personal.
This is not inviting and welcome. So
you've
nothing
caused
about
so
anime.
much distress. You've caused so much distress that
I
my
would like to
microphone's
comment on
falling
One
off.
Punch Man and say that I did not like that show at all. But not because it was a bad show, but because that's not the kind of show I like. And I can see, and I totally understand why people like One Punch Man. But I am not a fan of superheroes.
It was more like one
Very
trick
much.
man, one,
Yeah, fix my mind.
punch man, one trick pony.
So let's just I've got to get a little bit of a back. No,
It's just like, Yomi, get out.
And then I've marathoned the entirety of My Hero Academia in about
let's rewind. Let's
2 weeks.
I only like Dementia
from
Time.
like the shows that are on my top 5 list.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. We'll have a big conversation. I just wanted to explain because I don't want inside jokes happening, right? So the Anistock is the place where the little bit of backstory on that is that in my second year, I thought, in what kind of completely different direction can my life go in? Oh, there's an anime society. This guy, you should come along, see what it's all about. and that's where it all went downhill. It all went downhill in such a disgusting way. There's drifting cars,
Generosity.
there's trains, there's jumping into people's dreams. There's so much on that. There's so much on that road. Down and down and down, but so it's a fun road. You know, like how you enjoy going. You're on a bike, you enjoy going downhill. So that's kind of nice in a way. But
Instead of sex and drugs and rock and roll, it was more like virginity, alcohol, and Eurobeat for me. But that's just
right. Well, that's your experience, and I can't quote that. I can't say everyone has the same kind of experience with that. That's your story, and you can talk about that when you're in the hot seat if you so desperately want to. That's your. If you want your 10 minutes to be about that, fine.
I'm just waiting for
I'm ready for the cough button.
In Japan, where like Johnny's describing getting on the bullet train after marathoning Cabernet. He's like, I got on a train and it wasn't steampunk and there was no waifus.
I was so disappointed. I asked the nice Japanese man for my money back.
I even went to the front and he said there was no zombies to run over. It was a shit.
It was a bloody shame. A shambles.
Just to point out, every time I get an impression or Will does an accent of anyone, it will be a northern housewife. That's the only impression he can do.
I mean, that is.
That's the only thing he can do. So that's just. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, the first anime that I watched, and this isn't in my top 5, so I'm not spoiling anything for anyone who's wondering how bad my taste is, or no, how great my taste is, because I know it's like 10 out of 10 taste. The first anime that I watched it was Devil is a Part-Time, and that is a really, really good show, and I do like that a lot, and I did watch it. I watched it dubbed. We watched it dubbed, and I'm like, ooh, that. But then I had to side over because I 100% completely agree. You should watch all anime subbed, unless it's something like
JoJo Part 1, JoJo Part 2.
The JoJo's are kind of going. Yeah. What else? And the mean ones, like everyone knows about the ghost stories with dub.
Some dubs are genuinely good though, and like it's preferable to watch them if it's
something
good.
that
Girls and Panzer, that has got the sickest dub ever. Like that is so sick. I mean, that's not in my top 5 either, but that is
something that doesn't have enough artistic credibility for you to be pretentious enough to have to watch it subbed. You would just watch it in English, right?
That sounds like a personal attack.
Well, I can't, but I can't really remember how much we watched. No, The Last Airbender is not an anime. We're not here to talk about if any of these Nickelodeon shows are animes, right?
Terrible like Cartoon Network TV shows.
Yeah.
No, this isn't working. This camera's in a bad place now. It was perfect a second ago, and then I moved it, and now it's just worse.
Is Ruby anime? So that's another. That's
No.
I mean,
no, it's not.
I would like to chime in. I recently watched. I don't watch many anime YouTubers because I think most of them are horrible.
They're all cunts, yeah.
But there was a-
Whoa! Time out,
Listen
Shinon.
to my boy Reverend Jimmy. All right,
Shinon, you timed out for a minute.
Anyway, so I saw a recommended video from
Yeah,
Giggle.
I had to mute Shinon. Sorry.
I watched a recommended video from Giggle because it was about it was called Anime as a Brand, and I was like, what's he getting out from here? And he was basically saying about how what isn't anime has turned less from quantifying specific details and is more, well, it is just kind of at this point you get anime made in China, which people by consensus agree is anime. You get things like Netflix's Castlevania, which is by all accounts an anime, but it was made entirely in America. And it reaches a point where you're like, maybe if Avatar was released nowadays, maybe people would be more inclined to say anime, but at the time, it wasn't. I think Castlevania on Netflix is absolutely anime, because it is Hello Legends is anime.
I got a subscription of Shinon to unban him.
So I think that video.
Right, you can speak again.
People care.
Being a good boy.
It is worth a watch because he basically says that anime is less where it comes from now and more what kind of feel it evokes. And we are getting products coming from Netflix and the West that are, by all accounts, anime. However, I still wouldn't put Avatar in that because it looks too much like Teen Titans. Then it looks more like Kale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome Tinsel Sparks as well, but she BM'd Girls and Panzers, so I couldn't say hello properly. So I'm just saying that.
It's one of those things where it's like people liked anime because it's more adult and different and stuff, and now it's it kind of pushed what is
animation for animation.
And then it's now you just have filthy Baka Gaijins trying to emulate it in America. And
so do you not think the Castlevania on Netflix is an anime, Will?
I mean, I've not seen it. So
Go have a look at it.
I've not seen it. I've not seen it, to be fair. But it does look anime here.
It was kind of based on is it Eastern? It did evolve from just Japan to kind of general East, because Japan just outsources a load of the in-between animation to China, right?
And
Korea, China and Korea. Yeah.
It kind of became a thing where it's just the East, and then. But then, to say that it's you've got fucking Monte Cristo.
You've caused so much drama.
Halo models, and it's that counts as an anime.
You're causing so much drama. Oh no, not that.
Right.
No, we're not talking.
Monte Cristo.
Monty the guy who made.
Oh, right.
No. Oh, I thought you were in about the Count of Monte Cristo. The big.
No, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. That was big.
I tried to watch the first season of Ruby, and I felt like I almost wasn't allowed to say this for a couple of years in the kind of
Go on, you can say it now. This is a safe
outpouring of
space.
sympathy after the guy died, right? But it's crap.
It's pretty bad.
The animation is unwatchable.
Do you not
It's
remember
No. No.
what
I think the animation.
I
animation's.
skipped out on that day.
I think the animation is all right to for Ruby. I think the animation's fine. There's a lot worse that's actually made in Japan.
Yeah.
Would you say it's more of an? Oh, sorry.
Let's talk about the Berserk CGI. That's worse, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if I can't tell whether it was made in Miku Miku Dance, Blender, or Unity, then you've done something wrong.
What about Kemono Friends?
Yeah, Kimono Friends is a great CGI. That's such a great show. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. How can you say that? It's got a Penguin Idol group in it, for goodness sake. How can you even say that Kimono Friends is not good? So I rest my case. I win.
That's CGI though. Openings.
There's
CGI that's actually come out of Japan.
I would say Land of the Lustrous.
Land of the
Lustrous
Lustrous
is. Mwah.
You can make really good stuff with CGI. Absolutely, you can.
Yeah,
because
there are some rules for using CGI in anime. I think nothing living, right? If it's living, it's got to be always hand drawn all the time. If it's CGI, it's always CGI. You don't have an object flip constantly between hand drawn CGI, hand drawn CGI. This is the mistake these two mistakes are the mistakes that Love Live makes, because The CGI sequences in the dances are really, really conspicuous.
They did improve with Sunshine. Though. They did improve.
What, 2 seasons later? It's not really good enough,
yeah.
I don't think. But like, it's the good thing that the Evangelion rebuild films do is that the robots are always CGI. They're never hand-drawn.
I've been watching.
None of the characters are ever CGI.
I've been watching a mech show called Planet Wiz recently that kind of didn't do very well in its season, but in retrospect, everyone's like, actually, this is really good. So I was like, I would check it out. And as an aside, I've never heard better sound design in an anime than I've heard in Planet Wit. That sound is, it's good.
Is it episode 1 pod race good?
Episode 1 pod racing. I'd honestly say probably, yeah. Oh. I think the sound design is pretty good. Like, everything sounds like it's shooting dubstep, which definitely works in a sci-fi mech show. Like,
did you ever see that YouTube video that Corridor Digital did a few years ago? Dubstep cannons or something like that. Or is it dubstep guns or something?
I mean, Saints Row had a dubstep cannon.
Yeah, they'll have just ripped that off. That's what they do.
Sounds like we're talking. Sounds like we're moving towards what's the best music in an anime show at this point.
Back on the CGI thing, I was like, when I was back in Hull, like one of the guys showed me like there's a show where it's like it's half CGI and half normal because like the main characters and like objects they're all fully CGI, but then like the people that like only appear for like one scene or something they're all 2D because it's cheaper to like just quickly do them 2D than it is to like create a new full CGI model apparently. So it's like it has like this weird thing where like the background characters are actually better animated than this fucking main ones.
For Planet Wid though, or like Shinon said, every mech in that show is 3G, is CG, and the CG still isn't great, but it's passable and it does its job. And the point of the Planet Wid CGI is that it's designed to kind of evoke a sense of this isn't supposed to be in this world, and like it evokes a sense of like alien about it because everything's 2D and then you get these massive robots shooting dubstep lasers and you're like, this doesn't feel right, and because it's not, it's supposed to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of felt the same with Inuyashiki, the last hero.
That CGI is a little bit
that one I took a while to get used to it, but I watched the whole thing and I really enjoyed the show, like CGI aside, and I think it kind of adds to what it's supposed to be like because it's robots and you kind of feel like it's not supposed to be there, but
I think the best case of CGI is in counterpoint to Shinon earlier, either to evoke a sense of something that's not belonging, like it's not supposed to be there, or that it at least doesn't detract from the rest of it. Like you can see it and go, okay, fine.
In the rebuilding Evangelion films, which I think are very good, it's absolutely done right.
It's done perfectly there. It's a perfect example of it. And it's well integrated as well. It's not just that it's CGI, it looks like part of the scene. And one of the things that I think, one of the tricks that they try and use to blend it with the rest of the animation, I think it's kind of a disingenuous feature of the way that CGI is used and what it's used for. And I think it's done less as an artistic element and more just to make it look like it was actually hand-drawn frame by frame, which is they lower the frame rate of the CGI. It's like, it just makes it look like crap. Like,
if it's done well, though, it works. Like, Kill la Kill has CGI, and that looks like flawless. Like, you can't tell.
But the thing about it is like you get shows again like Love Live where some parts
Wait,
in the meantime,
that's the Love Life police. He's talking too much about Love Life. He's BMing it, and someone sent the police over to go and sort him out.
So,
sorry.
He's back.
Were you talking about 12-year-old girls?
Why is my camera? Why is it not widescreen anymore?
Love Live.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Anyway, so the problem with Love Live is like if you ever see the motion like interpolated versions of that on YouTube where they like try and up the animation to 60 FPS, it's like, oh, in a lot of ways this actually looks better. And part of the problem with the CGI in Love Live is the fact that it just wasn't smooth enough at all. So
you could literally see the frames.
It's like terrible frame by frame.
So I would like implore anyone who thinks all CGI is bad. And I don't think there's many people who just say, like, as a blanket statement, CGI
CGI is bad.
But anyone who says that should go and see
it's just
Land of the
if
Lustrous.
it's
100%
done well.
Land of the Lustrous far and away blows even most like 2D hand drawn anime out the water.
What's that show called? Oh, Handshakers. Oh yeah. Oh, what great! That's that's such great CGI.
So hard to be an Akiyuki Shindo directed show, wasn't it?
That was great CGI.
so
Handshakers. Yes, Handshakers is sick.
So bad.
Handshakers is great. I'll give you a quick synopsis of Handshakers. It's like chains. And that's all you need to know.
It's chains everywhere.
That is all you need to know about Handshakers. Chains.
Have to hold hands in order to use their superpowers.
Chains. Be lots and
Stupid
lots of
concept
chains.
to begin with, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, the chains were only episode 1. That was a villain in like episode 1 and 2, who had his weird BDSM sex slave partner
I did not interpret it like that. I thought it was just a difficult man who had a bit of a problem with chains and he can't get him off himself. And I'll give you my chains, and then.
Please just take. I can't hold
all these chains. That's what happened.
But no, that is a bad show with bad CGI. But Land of the Lustrous is
right. I've got something to say now. I think that everything for watching, or things that we're watching right now, probably aren't going to be in our top 5. But what are we enjoying right now? What are we enjoying the most? Unless
mine is a weird kind of crossover, but someone else can go first. What are you currently watching?
Polarity, go ahead.
No, don't start on mine.
Right, so
3 hours later.
Yeah, because all ours is going to be trash now. It's like
he's just going to get up any chart and recite the entire thing.
I'm keeping up with like 20 anime this season.
Yeah, so just to explain, he has an ungodly weird ability to watch like too much at once, and works full time, and he gets all this time to watch things.
Yeah, just to cut it down though.
What are your favourites that you watch?
I think Mob Psycho is one of the ones that I quite enjoyed.
Yes.
Like that one, I really enjoyed the first season, so I had to continue on with it. I'd probably say out of the new ones that aren't sequels, probably Rising of the Shield Hero, because the first episode kind of sets the scene really well. Kind of gets you hating everyone, which if an anime can get you hating like everyone in the first episode, they've done something right with the story. So
That's what it aims to do.
Yeah,
it's very. You've got animes have got to catch you up. They've got to catch you in the first episode. It's like such a commitment because they've already made all the episodes. It's such a commitment. If you're not going to go, this first episode sucks, I'm just not.
Yeah, especially the first episode's double length one, so it's like extra long to kind of get through, but it's definitely worth watching.
Plus, Raphtalia is super cute.
Well, that's raccoon. That's raccoon girl, isn't it?
The wholesome pure raccoon girl.
Yikes! There's always a stupid waifu every season. There's always like
don't waifu her. She's literally
what can we make? What stupid girl can we make this season? And it's like raccoon girl, and like what else have we had? Oh, there was all the ReZero nonsense that was all over everyone's timelines, and I'm like, this is silly because this 2 characters have the same hair but it's just different colours, and that means so much. I can't remember what was in the season beforehand because I don't think I watched anything in the last season because it was all rubbish.
Sword Art Online, Alicization.
The waifus of the seasons.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not. I can't.
Oh, last season was Bunny Girl Senpai Mai.
Yeah, they're all animals.
It's just like how you can push it, right?
I mean, that one's an outfit rather than an animal.
Season before was Platelet. I'm pretty sure she was like the adorable character everybody liked.
Yeah.
The Silent Lotus. I see you what. I feel like we're gonna have a fight. Well, Mr. Your boy Will with the good taste. what are you watching right now that's getting you all fizzy?
I just finished up in Deadly Sins. That was pretty
Right,
bad.
next. Shinon.
Jojo Space Brothers.
All right, Jojo, you redeemed yourself. No talk of 7 Deadly Sins here.
And I'm watching a bit of Samurai Champloo as well, like slowly teetering through that. That's it's all right.
At least JoJo's this season, so that counts. That's what you're watching right now. That's
I don't
exciting
really
you
watch
the
many
most.
current season shows because like I'd rather just like go through them at my own pace rather than like have to wake every week. Unless like it's JoJo levels of good.
Well, I mean, I guess you have to pause it at each frame and read the words and then start it again and read the next sentence in my own pace. I'm I'm understanding what's going on.
But you know, like you just like sit there and you watch 5 episodes like in a row. It's like that sort
to
of.
be
like,
fair,
it
is so much easier when you can just like sit down and just watch episode after episode because it's horrible waiting for new JoJo and new Mob Psycho. It's like I watched Berserk a few weeks ago. Like it's like this is sick. I can't stop watching this. It's great. And it was but there was a good reason for why I started watching Berserk.
Which Berserk? Sorry, movies.
The first one, like the actual '90s series. It's like it's
a good one.
Yeah,
some shows like lend themselves, I think, to being like a marathon to like a bit quicker. Then some of them are quite good as like a weekly one.
Yeah.
Right, it's like especially if like you've got a group of friends that are all watching, and like you kind of like get together, and you discuss like what's going on in the episode.
But we all watch anime alone. Pepe hands. Shinon, what are you watching right now? Are you watching any cartoons? No.
I'm listening.
You're watching nothing.
I haven't watched any anime in like.
What was the last thing you watched?
Children of the Whales, and I never finished it. But the last thing that I actually completed before that was like last summer. Oh no! I never actually finished Sancho Sanyo. That's on my plan to watch on.
It's like me with
Funimation.
every anime ever.
Yeah, no, I know. I have plan to watch lists on every single
Shut up,
anime
Berserk,
that
boom.
I'm on, basically, and they're all different. And I could recite all of them, but I won't because it's a total waste of time. But like, the last thing that I actually finished was Little Witch Academia over the summer, and that was great. That was a lot of fun. But I think that some Netflix dubs are a little rough around the edges. Honestly,
Boogie Pop?
It
I
feels
think there's
like
a reason.
yeah, it feels like the audio mixing was a little bit off, and the voice acting was also a little bit off. And you know, I was watching it on the TV downstairs while my parents weren't in the house because I've been trying to watch stuff legally, which has led to me just not watching it at all.
You've seen
one of the things
Berserk.
that I had planned to see soon was I want kind of like real world based anime, so something like
Gate.
Gay.
Shirobako.
No, you don't need
like
that.
Kind of
no.
Things that people do in real life, but anime-fied. So I really enjoyed.
Yeah, like the what's it called? The show that Will put on in anime, the neighbor Sekikun.
My neighbor Sekikun.
Yeah, that's a normal classroom, but then it was animated.
But yeah,
how did they know this joke?
Stuff that looks interesting that I want to see. I got about 4 episodes into Keijo and I never actually finished that, and that was like a lot of fun. I'm not sure why I stopped.
Whoa!
I think like over the course of the last year, I've just been a little bit depressed, really. So I haven't been watching anime.
4 people know about this.
Way to improve than titty and butt fights.
Exactly.
Oh, we get into real Keijo outfits.
Keijo for the realism.
No.
Yeah. Plot.
Well, right. We can get onto Keijo after Mr. Brule tells us what he's enjoying.
So I've been watching one thing this season, but alongside it, I've been watching Recreators, which is surprisingly interesting. More than I thought I would be into Recreators. A show about
it builds up.
It gets better, does it?
Yeah.
So really Recreators is like things that people have made, like creators, like mangaka or anime writers, game creators. The creations they make seeping through into the real world.
Oh, wow.
And like it builds into the relationship between creators, fan bases, and like who actually makes a character? Is it the fan base? Is it the creator? What is a character? And like, which is interesting. I've also been watching, like I say, Planet Weird, which talked about mechs, sci-fi. Surprisingly interesting for a mecha sci-fi show. And third, this season has been Promised Neverland, which it's been so long.
Wait, that's not that Michael
watched.
Jackson documentary, is it?
It's been so long since I watched like a seasonal show that I am genuinely excited, like, and I cannot wait to watch the next episode of. And it's so good. And if anyone likes psychological mysteries and thrillers, absolutely go and watch Promised Neverland blind if you can, because everything about that show is plot twist after plot twist after spanner in the works of the plans. So the Promised Neverland, there are some kids, they're orphans, and they find out that their orphanage is more than it seems. And like, without saying any more than that, because anything is spoilers past that, it's so good.
Already spoiled it.
Did there a season?
Yeah, Promised Neverland this season.
Oh, dude.
Manime,
That's cool.
Manime? What's that? Base chat, welcome.
Manime. Isn't JoJo a manime?
Oh, like men being men anime. Like,
Fist of the North Star.
yeah,
JoJo.
yeah. JoJo. Watch JoJo. That's all you need to watch. And what else can I say for that?
So what have you been watching, Mussy, anyway?
Yeah.
I know you're not
You're
technically...
BMing me now. This is what. No. Mob Psycho. Watch JoJo. I don't know. Last thing I watched. Let's watch that. No, obviously. I run a page on Facebook. Dwangism. Go check it out. Yeah, and before that, I sort of slacked quite a bit on the weeb things. I made this special because I feel like I've seen enough that I like and dislike, and you're all way better experts at it than me. But I like to sort of, I know what the good tastes are in it, and that's that. If I say it's good, and that's fine.
I'm right. You're wrong.
That's the rules. That is the rules. Obviously watch JoJo. No, and then Berserk before that, because it's all on YouTube, so I thought, why not? And before that, I was just trying to think because I came back to Hull a few times to come and watch the films, and we watched. What was the last film I watched? Was
in the Corner of This World.
Corner of This World, and that was an absolute meme because of the dub.
So
was
bad.
that
I could not believe that. I could not believe how bad. Like, I was actually offended by how bad that dub was.
It was really upsetting because that
really
film
horrific. It was a really great film as well.
It
probably
is. It's a very good film.
And someone else went to see it in the cinema, and it was fantastic.
New Game.
Like, it was really amazing.
Tinsel Sparkles.
Yes, Tinsel Sparkles, of course.
She's here in chat.
Oh, fantastic! Excellent. That's great. But we, it kind of built up to the tension of. Sorry, I didn't know. Sorry,
somebody out.
I didn't know whether or not, like, our viewers at home.
Typing away furiously. I can't believe this.
I'm really sorry. Okay.
That's it. Blog post tonight is coming out.
I know. I'm gonna get an absolute
somebody else
finger in my DMs So it built up this inevitability, this kind of tension. You know what's going to happen near, or if not at the end of the film, which is it's set in a village which is right next to Hiroshima during World War II. I wonder how well this is going to end. And predictably,
wow, spoilers.
Yeah, well, I don't. Am I fucking spoiling World War II?
Well, maybe you've not. What if you I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I wonder if it's gonna go badly.
You've just spoilt it, because what if we had someone in here who was 9 years old, has not done World War II history yet, and thought, oh, that sounds like a pretty good film. Oh, as soon as the word Hiroshima is mentioned in a setting in the 40s, ooh, you best get ready for some feels.
Haven't got to that part in Key Stage 3 history.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like to describe.
Amax is in Russia, and that war's still going on.
I like to describe in this
It's
corner of
just
the world
war.
as like watching a boiling lobster pot, and like there's just like, well,
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I know exactly what's happening here.
I want to go back to Hiroshima.
But no, that film is incredible.
No, you don't. And the whole audience is going, no, don't do that.
But yeah, no, the dub really kind of spoiled that film.
It was awful.
Oh dear.
So weird.
Oh.
You know what it reminded me? It reminded me of those old like Seraphim Digital dubs. I don't know whether or not you guys know by name who Seraphim Digital are, but if I name some of their work, Girls and Panzer,
Right.
Bodacious
I'm
Space
listening.
Pirates.
No,
Good
no,
show,
I'm not
that
listening.
time,
No.
Yeah, but have you ever seen the dub? Have you ever tried to sit through the dub?
Mm-mm.
It's grim. It's horrific. Fortunately, Seraphim
Yeah.
Digital doesn't get any business anymore because Sentai Filmworks now has their own in-house dubbing studio. Unfortunately, they use it to make Netflix dubs, which are one grade above, but not actually unwatchable. So
They're
yeah.
passable. Just.
Yeah, they are possible. Violet Evergarden's dub was okay, and Little Witch Academia's was I finished it.
It happened.
It's okay. Children of the Whales, I guess it's excusable because the source material that they were given to work with was meh anyway. I think like the quality of the voice acting roughly reflected the caliber of the original work, so I guess it was a fairly like authentic dub in that sense. But yeah, no, they're not great. But the Girls in Panzer dub was terrible, like really terrible. You remember how bad the Girls in Panzer dub was, don't you? Yeah. So In This Corner of the World dub reminded me of that, and it's inexcusable because it was a cinema release, and for cinema releases, you expect like your name, a silent voice, and that kind of level of quality, not fucking bodacious space pirates, right?
Yeah.
It's not what I go to the cinema for.
I've got to interrupt because look, the World Wars aren't an anime.
I'll tell you what.
We're not. World Wars aren't an anime where we're not having EU OVAs and Russia OVAs and.
Holmes. What was it?
Oh, Empire of Corpses.
Yeah, Empire of Corpses is fucking.
Isn't the closest like the World War animes that are out there? I can think of is you could say JoJo Part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah, because Nazis are in it.
Yeah.
JoJo Part 2, Zeta the Last Witch, and Italia. They're your World War shows.
Didn't you watch that one as well?
There's something called like Panzermädchen. Nope, that's the visual novel with tank girls. It's not called Panzermädchen.
Oh wait, and flipping what's it called? What's it called? Brave
the Fireflies. That's same.
No, not that. No. No, what's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh. No,
That's Tanya
the Last Witch. Tanya the Last Saga of Evil. The Saga of Tanya the Evil. There we go.
You autistic little fucker.
The Saga of Tanya the Evil. That is what it's called.
I would like to just mention to Shinon quickly. You mentioned Empire of Corpses. I have the sequel, Blu-ray Steelbook.
Oh, what? That's awesome. Have you seen it?
Look at my Steelbook.
When I say I have something for everyone on this shelf, I really do.
I think I might have actually.
Lord.
Anyway, like the thing about Empire of Corpses is that like a lot of the characters are really good.
What you're saying is there were
Yeah. Yeah, basically. I'm so fucking predictable, aren't I? Why is it that every show that I think looked visually appealing this season got rated like a 2 or 3 out of 10? Like Pastel Memories, I thought, that looks cool. 4 out of 10.
I mean, Pastel Memories is supposed to be very good.
Pastel Memories, this is the currently airing stuff. I was looking down the currently airing list on Mal, and I thought of all the ones that the cover art kind of appeals to me, like Pastel Memories is an action sci-fi adventure based on a video game. 4 out of 10. I was like, what? The character design's so cool though. And then Circlet Princess, action sci-fi sports school anime based on a game by Silverlink. Fucking Silverlink are usually really, really good. 5 out of 10 rated. Virtual Sun wa Miteru. That looks really good. It's a music-themed comedy 4 out of 10. Like,
This season.
why is it that
Good
like,
artist.
why is it that everything that looks really good and pretty and like I'd like
I've got to
has
say,
such unbelievably poor ratings? It's just crappy.
Now, here's a bit of a sweeping. It's a bit of a sweeping statement, but I think now, obviously, very old shows have all their different arts. They're all done by lots of different studios, but the one consistent studio that I think always make their show like their animations pretty is Ghibli. Like without any shadow of a doubt, I think that anything that Ghibli has made, I watch it and think that is very pretty. All of the background, it's like it's been painted by some fancy French artist that's now dead, and they've got a bit of Italian painting in there by someone else that's dead, and it looks very nice, and that's what you want to see, and it's like yes, that's very good.
All films, and they're like a ridiculously rich company because like everything they make is like a hit.
No, yeah, true, but then you want to look like
I think Ghibli's really overrated. And that sounds like so
it's just so accessible there. Hey Johnny, if you see My Neighbor Be Yamada's, that's the fucking.
You can't say that Ghibli's overrated. They've got some great films in there.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that they're not as great as.
You're saying Disney's overrated?
Right? It's just target audience, isn't it? We're not really the target audience for most Ghibli films.
Oh, what's Ghibli? It's Ghibli. Come on, it's
Ghibli.
No, it's
the correct pronunciation.
It's
type into
Ghibli,
Google
man.
But,
what a weird thing to say, Ghibli.
As a counterpoint of Ghibli having like the best animation.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it is. I think it is best I've seen.
If you, as a counterpoint,
like better animation.
If you look at any movie studio, you're always going to get better budget and nicer looking things. You look at Comics, I think it's Comics Filmworks they're called. Comics Wave Films, who did Your Name, and they did Garden of Words. All of the Makoto Shinkai films are all absolutely stunning. 5 centimeters per second. Sorry, Will.
The first one he did was like it did look great, but it was like it's still pretty damn fucking good.
Yeah, it's a case of like if you're looking at movies, they're always going to have nicer animation because they can focus more time on.
Well, you've gone for Studio Trigger I think like the ones that are sort of rated highly, and I probably you could step in with some studios here. I'm going with Ghibli,
Madhouse.
Bones, Madhouse, Trigger, A1.
Kyoto Animation.
No.
A1's got some good stuff.
No.
You've just like reeled off like the top 5 like most.
But they
popular
are
ones.
though.
It's because they have
Kyoto Animation.
Kyoto Animation.
Yeah. Holy
sure.
fuck. They are consistently one of the highest quality studios. What the ones that Johnny just listed off are the ones that make money. Kyoto Animation should have been on that list. It actually does make money.
Wait, so hang on. I'll tell you who else. Who makes.
If you want to shit on A1 Pictures, just go and watch any Persona 5 TV anime highlights.
It's not that
laughable.
bad.
It is beyond laughable. The quality of that anime.
No.
It's super bad.
It's so bad.
They did produce. They had like a generally consistent animation style across multiple different seasons. They had a kind of house style, which they were developing it at a point. Like, it's really weird to say this, but if you go back and watch the Idolmaster anime, I think it's from like 2013 or 14 or whatever. I can't remember when it actually came out. It has the same the characters and the people and the character designs look similar to the character designs in Sword Art Online.
Well, I was going to say Sora Nowoto. I literally always mix up the Sora Nowoto characters for Idolmasters.
Yeah.
That's some animation. You won't believe it's animation.
Oh, yeah, fuck. So it's like that kind of style. You know exactly.
Becky, hello.
They had
a
weird
sort of Idolmaster K-On mix for Sora Nowoto. I sometimes think it's a KyoAni show because they have a weird sort of K-On vibe. Yeah, A1 make too much stuff. They spread themselves thin, and they just
and then all their animators die. And that's not good.
You can't say that.
Now hear me out.
They do. They had a really like high-profile animator just die from overwork recently. It's something that happens in the industry. I can say it actually.
Yeah. It's a known thing.
Why criticize Will for that comment?
I'm just having a look. What? Yeah, I mean, it's like if you're attacking A1, you're attacking Fairy Tail. You're attacking gay.
I'm so afraid of having an unpopular opinion.
So
I don't think it's unpopular to say that A1 are average. They just.
Your Lie in April.
It's like what's the company that does like Dragon Ball, One Piece, and all those? Like they're like
Toei Animation.
They're like painfully average now, aren't they? But like they used to be like top dogs.
Do you want to permit Chai?
Stop! I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying the word and it's 4 letters in how it's meant to be said. I'm not saying anything else. I'm literally saying it with 1 syllable, a very short syllable, and that's it.
It's got nothing to do with anime.
I want to see Chai's Persona 5 animation meme.
Can I put a good example of Persona 5 as a link? Absolutely. What's this?
Seems that we're talking about good animation. The boy with the fattest of mambas has got a good point. Like. Nothing.
Why is the top half of Ren floating?
Akira in terms of like pure animation.
But that's actually in the show.
Like 24 frames per second. You ain't gonna.
Akira was a really good-looking movie, especially considering it was like pre-computer stuff.
Like nothing will ever improve upon it. I don't think.
No, it would be
possible
to.
It's funny.
It would be possible. It's possible to, but will anyone ever like put the budget
order? Let Michael speak.
Animation like that?
It's kind of a style that people have grown up with and people are used to because it's back in those times. So you kind of don't want to change it in a sense because
it's like it's moved on. Like, people are just like they're fine with like lower frame rates and that's easy.
Who makes Castlevania?
It's fine. So it's like
who makes Castlevania?
Konami.
Netflix.
Unless
Netflix. Oh, brilliant.
No, legit. Like, you check it out, you would not even know it was made.
Castlevania anime is American.
Castlevania. Apparently, we've decided. Well, we're not. Apparently, it is an anime.
It's almost.
Is it actually American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
if you look at it and you think that's not anime, then I'd say that's just being elitist at that point. And I wouldn't use that word.
But it's made in Asia though. That's like the rule.
Right, I've got a question.
Like Pantene stocking is.
So who's excited for High Guardian Spice?
No, that's not anime.
No, and it's not. And
you're not excited for it.
Shouldn't be funding crap like that. And its trailer was an absolute disgrace.
That'll take up the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
I was just asking a bit if there was a little any sort of a question as to if anyone was going to watch that or not.
I think that Craig's visibly tilted now. He's visibly pissed off that Dev mentioned it in his presence.
I'm planning to give it a go, but
you give everything a go. You just watch everything. Yes, there's an anime coming out. Add to list.
You are being an anime fan wrong, my friend.
So I would like to consider
yes.
If Castlevania was a Crunchyroll show and High Guardian Spice was a Netflix show, there wouldn't be any problems. There would not be any problems. The only issue is Crunchyroll missed the target audience of High Guardian Spice.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be a bad show in any way.
It was absolutely published the wrong way and promoted the wrong way.
Promoted very, very the wrong way.
Very the wrong way. Look at the way he's slouching in his chair, the passion with this argument.
The worst possible misread of their own demographic that they could have possibly made.
No, I think the only problem is the wrong people, in terms of people that will watch it.
Like right down to the specific people that they had talking in the trailers and the track records and, opinions on their kind of person.
Anime is a brand.
Very, very poorly judged. Very poorly. It was very poorly received. No matter how much people like me like to brigade that sort of thing, it was overwhelmingly negative.
Right.
The response to it.
I think if we're going to have enough time to get through all this, I think we'll move on. This will cause a lot of more discussion, so don't worry about that. We're going to do this hot seat rotation of shows. Now, Michael, you've been above there for quite a while, so I'm going to swap you off, and I'm going to put your boy Will, and I think you're going to go first on this one because we want to see. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to go through 1 to 5. If you've seen any previous streams for the Hear Me Out. We do 1 to 5 top video games. This time we're going to do it off anime. We're going to see who's got the best, who's got the worst taste. Audience, react to your heart's content. React with any emote you can think of as we go through these. So let me make sure I've got my little thing ready. I'll reuse this. What are we thinking? Are we going to see anything good from Will? Are we going to see anything bad?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely nothing good. Bill has got no hope for this one.
Right, so just to pander to the current audience, my top 5 are Gate Season 1, Gate Season 2,
Well, that's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, beautiful taste. Mwah, bellissimo. Oh, no, we got to do it properly. Right, come on, number 5. We'll start with number 5, Mr. Will Storms. Number 5 of all time.
Number 5. I'll stick there with the Nisekoi.
Alright, I'm gonna have to make sure I can spell these. Spelt it right.
Do you just want to stand up a sec, Will, and go and stand back in your room a little bit?
Yeah. This is so. We've got a puke face. Fake weeb is being thrown at. You're a fake weeb.
What,
I think that's,
Yeah.
I think that's because Bing didn't watch.
You think
Musical.
you can convince us with a shirt and a wall scroll?
Self-deprecative.
You know what the biggest problem with Nisekoi is I finished the manga and it's just straight mediocre by the end. It starts off so strong and it just gets progressively worse.
My opinion of Nisekoi is, it just kind of existed.
Hang up in the background, man. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was like one of those really early ones that I got really into. I still think I'd probably read it. Like it starts off very strong, but like it just teeters off. Like the guy just forgets what he's doing. Just because we've got a lot of people to go through, I'll try and keep this short and sweet.
All right.
Yeah, we know what we got. Yeah, go on.
Number 4, it's been mentioned in the chat earlier, and we've talked about it briefly.
Oh no!
And it did save anime. It saved anime. It's Keijo.
Oh what? That's in your top 5.
Well, what does your mum think about this?
What?
My mum
I'm
thinks
shocked.
that it's a pretty good show.
You've watched it with your mum?
Yeah, she watched. She sat down through 2 episodes with me.
Wow.
And she said, you know
I'm hoping everyone knows what Keijo is. Please let me know if you don't know what Keijo is.
Get pictures of the anime to put on screen.
Let's do links. Links are safer. So you can.
Links like worse than the Twitch dots in terms of.
Links
like,
are slightly safer, so you can go and have a look at what Keijo is. And
Gosh, your taste got worse, Will.
Fuck you. My taste is still glorious.
don't attack the chat. Don't attack the chat, man. Keijo clicked images. Thought the boy I raised. Silent Lotus is furious. No, I think Keijo is one of I think Keijo is absolutely brilliant. But Keijo is the show that you watch at 3 o'clock in the morning after you've got your takeaway pizza and you're still drinking when you get back home. That is when you watch Keijo with the boys.
Exactly how we did.
Which is what we did, right?
Yeah.
That's when you watch Keijo. You don't sit down and watch it. Just watch it and like go, yes, it's time to settle down. Get a nice glass of wine. Oh, what's this? Some girls in swimsuits.
There is one thing I would mention, but I don't know if it's going to creep up in Will's top 5.
Great taste.
I'm going to refrain from saying it in case it appears in Will's top 5. But the story of watching this show is similar to the story of watching Keijo.
Oh shit! Right, you can mention that straight after I finish my list. Then I guess.
It's just not in the list. Tungsten Douglas. Ignore Lotus. Will, I got your back.
Thank you, Dougie. I appreciate you.
Right, Becky. In the short and simple, you can go and look at the My Anime list page for Keijo, but Keijo's in very short, simple terms. It's about a sort of a school where a girl, I think she's a girl from the countryside, who wants to be the best fighter.
It's too much detail. They don't care about that.
They don't. This is a backstory. Yeah.
Just give me Attack on Titan. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it parodies a lot of.
I'm not sure.
Parodies a lot of fighting anime. In the sense that the girls sit on a floating platform and use.
If you don't like Keijo, you just don't like strong women, and you aren't here for the feminist movement. Stay strong.
Finish man's name.
Alright, so
Okay, right, we're moving on. Yeah. But it's without sticks.
It's foot wrestling.
but wrestling.
Actually based on an ancient Japanese like art actual like, Japanese
art form.
It is obviously taken to vast extremes.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Number Trez. Redline, the film.
Oh, now this is something I've seen as well. Redline's so sick. It's got it's got such a great soundtrack.
Blu-ray, I watched it 3 times.
I'm pogging with you on this one. Redline is great. I love Redline.
I was going to mention Redline earlier in the topic of like things that look really nice, like visually.
Yeah.
And Redline,
it is in a bankrupt madhouse.
Yeah. And it also really bankrupted the society. Right? It was an odd first movie of the year, but it's a great film.
It was fine. It survived.
It wasn't the first movie of the year. It was the second one.
Yeah, it's the second
the first one was Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, it was Kiki's. You're right.
And the second one was we played it in the pub. Like we hired out half of the pub to do both of them. And after the second one, or after Redline, they realised, oh shit, we're supposed to get licenses for showing this sort of thing in this venue. So don't do that again, guys. And also, it had like massive jiggling naked tits.
Only for like a couple of seconds.
In a scene. I was sweating bullets during that. It actually was. It was so
I would like to chime in and ask a sec. Sorry, do we have music for the anime?
Yes, I am doing. Yeah.
Oh.
It might not be worth.
Which I only started now. So yeah, we're doing that as well.
We need to quick fire because there's so many of us. So it's like.
No, don't worry. Like I'll keep it going. So don't worry. We'll just keep talking about it till we move on. But I would just say, Redline,
like Yellow Line on.
Redline is very, very good. I've got to agree on that one. I'm happy with that. In a third.
I'd say that's actually surprising.
That's surprising. That was surprising.
I didn't expect that in your top 5.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I've watched it. I watched it for the first time since I finished uni, and I've fallen very deeply in love with that.
Oh, you only saw it recently, did you?
Yeah, so it's after I finished uni, I decided, fuck it, I'll buy the Blu-ray, and then I sat down and watched it. I went, holy shit, this is amazing, and then watched it another 2 times within a month.
So good, and so good, and
driving
ridiculous.
to work with that soundtrack on is dangerous.
You just have a Redline day.
It makes me a worse driver than Eurobeat does. there's like normal speed, like so. This is like slow. This is like normal speed. Then you've got Eurobeat. Then you've got Redline day.
Redline.
No, I've been waiting.
Eurobeat remix of Redline OST when?
Oh, where's that?
When does Sean start
Redline
shooting, you can make a request.
I've been trying to stumble across a Blu-ray for Redline for a long time. I don't want to order it online. I just want to stumble into it and be like, oh my god, they've got Redline. But
yeah, I think I did that. I may have bought it online or I bought it at a convention. I don't know. Either.
I
can't remember what that was. I'll try and find it after. Yeah, go on, number 2.
Steins Gate.
Oh,
Zero. That was a bit naff. The OG. That's just like.
And I know to put that weird colon. I don't think I've spelt it right. There we go.
That weird colon.
Colon. Semicolon in here.
I think everyone just kind of respects that it's beautiful and perfect.
Not seen it.
I don't think anyone actually like hates Steins Gate. I think at worst people go, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
I think it's that kind of show.
I'll have to view it at some point.
I'll go through a few quick honourable mentions before I go to my numero uno.
Whoa! Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
So honourable mentions, Code Geass, which upon a second viewing with my housemate last year is not as great as I once thought it was, but it's still like
it's still
easy
good,
9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's got a good opening.
Tier, but it's like 9 out of 10. JoJo Part 2, favourite part.
Oh.
I mean, it's pretty damn.
At least it's JoJo.
A certain anime that me and Johnny discussed on a drunken night on the walk.
No. That's so not suitable. You need a timeout.
Gates an honourable mention.
Yes, Gates. Gates is great.
Like Bears Years, Omai, Umasodana, those boys. So my numero uno is
number 1 is.
Oh, I want.
Wait.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
I was gonna be. I could have guessed that.
And no one is surprised, and everyone says,
Teppen,
you taste great. You can't be faulted.
Gurren, what is it? Lagoon, something like that.
Lagann.
Lagoon, same
Tengen
thing.
Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Does anyone have that same opinion with Storm?
And the dub for Gurren Lagann is fucking top tier.
So,
and it's the best way to watch it.
how many animes have you roughly watched? That do you reckon?
What, me?
Yeah.
I've got my list up, and I don't know how many I've actually watched.
Does not say count on there? Because we're going to say like how
a number on the left-hand column.
I've seen like more because like I've not counted like most of the ones in the side because I never bothered adding those on.
But you're saying like you've seen a lot and you've put
one
that.
One for my list says
there.
99, but I think that includes. I'm not sure if that includes plan to watch. I
Don't
don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
Tingen,
if so, that's like
Topper, Gurren Lagann.
12 OVA series, 41 movies, and 8 specials.
So all I know about that show is it's got a big drill in it, and then
it's called a Giga Drill Breakthrough.
No, it's a big drill, and then there's something ridiculous where a super duper Teppen Token Gurren Lagoon is like twice the size. It's like so weird. Like it's like the biggest thing in the in space, and it's bigger than
the galaxies that the enemies.
The mechs reach a point where they are literally light years across in length. They are so long, they are literally.
It's just when they stop.
But why? That doesn't make sense.
They literally throw galaxies at each other. It's so big. It's unfathomably big.
It's so ridiculous and fun.
Why exactly? Why, Base Chai? These are the answers we need.
So it starts out underground in a little tiny cave, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it never stops.
It's pointless.
I think it's worse in the films as well. Like they go bigger and more stupid in the film.
Chat, out of 10, what we rating is top 5. I'm going for the 6 on this one. I'm gonna say because the only thing that Redline's got it up for me, and then
I think I'm at least getting a 6 because my top 3 are fucking
maybe 6.5 because you mentioned Gate in honourable mentions, so I'll give you a half a point. But I'm sad that it wasn't in your top 5.
I'd give him a 7.
I haven't seen it, but I know that it's a good show.
You got a 7 out of 10, an honourable 7 out of 10 on that one. 8 out of 10. Why Keijo? 9 out of 10. Damn, you got 9. You got a 9.
It was the best anime of that year.
9 and an 8. That's an average of about. Yeah, that's right. 8. Tinsel gave it a 5. Sipping on tea. Not happy with that list.
Shall I just stick Ouran High School Host Club and 3 and shit in it with that?
all you need is Ouran High School Host Club and
right,
which is actually a good show. Really like was going to be in my top 5, but it's just not quite.
Let's hang on. Let me just do it. Well done, Will. You were on the stage there, so well done thank you for giving you our list.
Chin to top taste back, lads. May you fare better than I do.
Right, I'm going to send Ill Intelligence up to the stage. So I'm going to send Will's list down there, so he can sit with that list. Well, I think this is going to be a different list. Probably that's an easy thing to say. Is that this list is probably going to be quite different. We'll see how different, and then obviously
it might not be surprisingly sensible, to be honest, because I probably overthought it in the sense that the shows that I like aren't good, so I wouldn't put them in a good list of good shows. But what I have done is picked the shows that I like a lot that are also actually good shows. Mm-hmm. So my number 5, vague hand wavy order. It's not a cemented order. My number 5 is Pet Girl of Sakura So.
Literally,
I want to see that actually.
What?
It looks like it could be really super relatable.
Pet Girl.
Pet Girl of Sakura So.
Pet Girl.
Hope I don't get timed out of chat for this. Hell yeah, there we go. Very good, like little romance drama.
What in the what?
It's about kids who are like trying to.
Oh shit, that's actually my plan to watch.
It's a really good show. It was one of the first like dramas and romances I ever saw.
Pet Girl of. Oh right, that.
The reason it's there is because as I've watched more and more anime, all of my shows have like moved up and down in rating, and like you know what, this show wasn't as good as I remember it. But compared to when I first watched Sakura So, it's only moved up in rating. I've only been pushing it higher and higher up as time goes on, so it's definitely in my top 5. Very good show.
Never heard of it.
Very good. Popularity number 64. It's actually a popular show. It was one of this year's Annie's Top 5 choices for best. Hey, hell yeah. Blessed be upstepped. So my number 4,
Good one,
which
can
may
confirm.
come as
Okay.
a surprise to nobody.
Oh,
Which,
is it gonna be? Oh wait, I think.
I wonder what it
It's
is.
gonna be.
Surprise to nobody. It's the Evangelion rebuild movies, specifically rebuilds, to be honest.
Rebuild.
Now that is a controversial.
You
thing.
cannot rebuild. I think.
But
That's
I
an
think the
actual
rebuild
thing.
movies are better than the original series.
Now I strangely will give you an agree, but the actual series is actually really good, and then I think that the films are really. I think the whole thing's great. I can't really. I don't know why I started that stupid sentence. Everything's great. Everything's great about Evangelion.
I said I might not put it on, but
Might
upon
not.
further consideration, I actually
Lies.
like
This is you can't look anime lists, top 5 lists can't be trusted. You just got sometimes it just comes to your head that you think.
Look,
Yeah.
we knew that Evangelion was going to end up on somebody's list tonight.
It was going to be that.
Yeah, and I thought I was thinking it could have been on my list, but I'm like, I like it, but it's probably an honourable mention. It's probably
anyway,
an honourable mention.
For me, the main series was great, but the pacing was too slow. Whereas the movie jumped past the boring bits and got to the good shit.
Well,
They got to the good stuff faster. The good stuff like the Ramiel fight, the big big floating diamond. That's so good in the movie. Oh, it's so
it's
good.
incredible.
It's so good compared. All of the production is up, and all of the pacing is up, and it just makes it a better experience to watch.
But then it's the only thing that it is the one. What is it? You can't. The third one.
3.33 is just insane.
It's
There's no
just the most
rhyme or
bonkers.
reason to why it exists.
No, it's just bonkers. Like it's just so weird.
I still haven't seen it.
It's
Neither have
insane.
I.
Still haven't seen it.
It's
I can't
not-
believe it. Like I've been so complacent.
It's so bonkers. It's honestly.
It's so different to anything else that Evangelion's had, but it's
Because
not
of how-
badly.
It's development, Bingaling. Exactly. It's all about development and symbolism. Like you've learned so much, and you and.
You don't really.
Yes,
You
you
know, it is.
do.
Alright.
You're meant to be
I'll
able to
tell you
write.
exactly the
You
problem
watch
with the
Evangelion. You're like, it's time to write a thesis about what the hell just went on in Evangelion, and then you go,
I can
"This is
stretch.
my theory," and you're like, "You're wrong," and it's like, "Well,
It's
I'm not
poorly
wrong."
paced.
And
The original show is poorly paced.
It is.
What?
Yeah,
I've
it
read
really
it.
helped when I did
You've
it.
got
Like, I marked
absolute
it.
shite tier filler episodes, like the one where they have to go underneath, like into lava, deep diving into lava. That was
Yeah.
completely pointless. There was another one where there's like a nuclear-powered AI robot that malfunctions that they have to stop. That was completely pointless. Kaoru gets one episode, and we're expected to find all of Shinji's little interactions and the fucking nervous breakdown he has when he sees him again in the end of Evangelion movie. We're supposed to find that believable on the back of the fact that Kaoru was literally in 10 minutes of Neon Genesis
So like
Evangelion.
3.33 then.
10 minutes roughly before it was then revealed, oh my god, he's an angel. It's like he's been around for fucking
Bingaling,
minutes,
I'm
and he
totally
might have,
on your
like,
side.
touched Shinji's dick in the bathroom.
Oh my
once.
God,
Like, and now he's
where's
having
this
a nervous
band?
breakdown 2 episodes later.
Where's this
Fuck off.
band picture?
Fuck off. Not
Paul
believable.
Bingaling trying his best. to
Band.
defend it.
Look, okay, I'll compromise. I can stretch Evangelion rebuilds to all of the Evangelion movies because End of Evangelion is a masterpiece as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Um,
What do you
I
mean
think
it's not?
I think it's
I think
bullshit,
End
that's
is
right.
What? It's great.
Yeah, End of Evangelion is just brilliant. Right, Paul, out of interest,
Yes.
for the rebuild films, is the story changed to not be like Shinji's wet dream like the original
So-
series?
One
Yeah.
and two. One especially like follows the first 8 episodes of the anime up till the
6.
Ramiel fight. I think 6 is it?
Yeah.
Up until the end of the Ramiel fight with the big space diamond. The second veers a little bit and more focuses on Rei and how Rei can actually be a good character. And then eventually it veers off about halfway through movie 2 into a different story. And then 3 is
Bit of weird
not even
story.
remotely- 3 is not even remotely related to anything we saw.
No, it's not.
It's so like
Absolutely.
tangential and bizarre that I think that the next movie will probably be spent writing themselves out of the corner that they've written themselves
No,
into.
they are going all in. Like the teaser that was released is all in on the post 3.33.
All right, the compromise was allowed. Okay, fair,
Okay.
but
Respectable. Okay.
yeah, Evangelion made it into a list.
It did.
So it did.
Maybe
So it did.
surprising nobody actually,
No.
because everyone calls me an Evangelion fanboy. Not true.
No.
I think
Not
it's a
true.
pretty good show.
Number 3.
Sorry, actually.
Number 3 for me will come as no surprise to anyone who's known me for more than about 4 years. Will be Magical Girl Raising Project,
Yeah.
which is probably the most controversial point on my list because
Wait, Magical
that's the
Girl
response I would expect.
Raising. I feel like math.
The issue people had with Magical Girl Raising Project is that they went into it expecting like another edgy Madoka type show. If you look at it like a Madoka ripoff, it will be bad because it's not to be seen as a Madoka ripoff. It's to be seen as a battle royale. It's PUBG.
It's a battle royale.
I love me some Fortnite.
It's PUBG with magical girls, and if you look at it that
Magical Girl Fortnite.
way, it is.
Who's Ninja? Which one's Ninja? Is it like the titty girl who
Ninja's-
is actually
Right,
a boy?
where's me band?
Ripple,
Band.
yeah.
Band. Right. You need
yeah.
to time out again.
No, that show is like
Where are we dropping girls?
expected different from it, and kind of just wrote it off as another edgy Madoka ripoff. One, I don't like the word edgy, but that could be a whole podcast in its own. My opinions of the word edgy to describe anime. But 2, don't look at it like a Madoka. Just look at it as a Magical Girl Fortnite or PUBG or whatever. Even just the original Battle Royale book, and it's much better and much more exciting. And edgy is lazy. I agree. Thank you. It's too lazy. People have words. Use your words.
Use your words. Magical
Yeah, but
Raising.
it was around as a kind of cultural descriptor long before it was applied to anime. Like, what would you call Shadow the Hedgehog if not
That's the
edgy?
thing.
What would you
No.
call?
I would
Some
call
of the
it
things
Shadow the Hedgehog light. My boy Infinite's way
The
edgier.
point of edgy
Oh
is
my
it's-
god, how do we get onto Saga again? How do we do it? We're not talking about hedgehogs, we're talking about magical girls, and you've gone to Sonic the Hedgehog.
So he didn't use it then.
How have you got? How's it happened? Yeah, Will, let's get our Sonic games out.
I've got one.
And so it continues.
Hey, where's your Sonic game? I got my Sonic game.
I am
Not
Hey.
here, not here.
Hey, Shinon, look, it comes with a book.
Yeah, it comes with a manual. It's
Oh,
all-
like look,
This
story
game,
and
sorry,
everything.
Don't play it. Page 1.
In response to Shinon
Story.
saying like Shadow the Hedgehog is edgy, what edgy has become is meaningless. Edgy doesn't really have a meaning. People use it to maybe mean grimdark. People mean it to use too gory. People mean it to use unreasonably dark, dependent on the setting it's presenting.
What you're saying is there's edgy stuff that you like, but you don't like the word edgy.
I like
And that's
shows.
the reason why you don't like the word edgy, because people have used it to describe the things that you like.
No, because I would not call things I don't like edgy either.
Right, fair enough.
I would not call something
Ramil's
like
edgy.
School Days. I wouldn't call School Days edgy. By the fact that most people call it edgy.
Like this and edge.
No, it's
How to do
like
waifu girl.
fedora wearing, katana
Praise
wielding,
God.
kind of fat leather trench coat, neck beard, who teleports behind you and says "nothing personnel, kid." That's edgy. That's what I mean by edgy.
Kerwin?
but that's not what everyone means by edgy, and that's the problem. Edgy doesn't really have a meaning that people
it's
can
kind of
actually
subjective.
distinguish.
No, let's go for the Google dictionary definition just to settle the
Because edgy
argument.
came about from My Chemical Romance loving long black fringe goth. Oh, my parents don't understand me. Edgy.
It's an informal word that means kind of avant-garde, but I guess the connotation is that it's trying too hard to be avant-garde and kind of off the wall and dark for the sake of it, and not for the sake of any sort of convincing or authentic artistry. It's just like dark for the sake of being dark. It doesn't feel like it justifies itself within its own content. That's
use
what I
the
think is
words-
edgy.
Use the words too dark for its own good or dark for the sake of being dark. Don't just
Yeah, well, but
point
no,
it
we have a word. We have a word for that. That's edgy.
Right. We're not having a podcast on the definitions of edginess. If you want the definition of edginess, Shadow the Hedgehog, right? There's your definition. Right, number 2.
Two for me, probably the newest edition. In fact, it definitely is the newest edition to my list. It's the film I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Yeah.
What? I never saw that.
It's a really good film.
It's so good.
I want to.
Is it Steve Jobs' biopic?
Right, banned.
You think I want to eat pancreas is overrated? I think it's really
Connected to your shithole.
Right, you're banned now as well.
That's the colon. If you're about to try and turn it into a Total Biscuit joke, you're thinking of the colon.
Yeah.
So,
get
And no,
educated.
Will, I don't want to eat your colon.
I would
Right, no, you're banned now. I'm loving this. These are sound quotes. I'm going to pick out.
Literally,
This is sound
stream is going
quotes.
to end up with Johnny talking into a camera. I don't know why my friends are so edgy.
What's all this? I'm not a magic mushroom trying to feel the air. Like, Gate.
I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is
My arms do not flow back.
it's a romance.
This was a bad idea. This was such a bad idea. Right, go on. What's about this
It's a romance about a girl who
What's about this Cells at Work, the movie?
tells the world. So she's dying of like pancreatic cancer, basically.
Oh wow, spoilers. Right.
That's not 18. That's 30 seconds of the film.
Alright, okay.
It's not a reveal that she's dying. Not like certain other anime that I won't mention. For
That's
sake of
ruined. You've just said that she doesn't get revealed that she's got pancreatic cancer, and then has got pancreatic cancer and it doesn't get
Jack,
revealed.
if you're talking about the anime that I think you're talking about, and you didn't see that coming a mile off, then
Well, it's true. Anyway,
That's like saying.
she makes friends with a boy in her class and is like, "Hey, could you make my last, however long I may have, nice?"
I don't want to die a virgin.
This sounds like the Fault in Our Stars, the movie.
Some people have described it as Fault in Our Stars, but good, an anime.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's animated, it's good.
So it is actually like
Speaking-
I am not.
I
one-
resonate with this on a much more spiritual level because it was drawn.
I don't usually like get excessively emotional anime things, but my god, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas was insane for sheer overwhelming emotions. And I think you, Mr. Shinon,
Yeah,
you get quite sad. You get quite sad at things.
Do you know, I have on my anime list, I have a sub list, which is the cried list.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that I cried at. And actually, I'm going to go down that list when it's my turn to speak. So, there we
So
go.
for me, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas will be at the top of the made me cry list, far and away. Nothing is even close to it.
Really?
Genuinely,
Seriously?
100%.
And you're like a pretty tough bastard, aren't you? Are you to
The
make
only
cry?
two
Yeah.
things, the only two things that have made me actually
I know
genuinely
the other
cry.
one. It was begins with M. Menma. What is it?
That's the character.
No, that's what you do with a
Anohana.
Pepsi
That's
bottle.
it. Yeah, there we go.
Anohana and I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. The only two. So before we get to number one,
Right.
I'm going to move on.
Honourable mentions, 3 honourable mentions, go.
3? Oh god.
Think on the
You don't
spot.
have any, that's really not surprising.
Then yeah, you've only
Promise
ever
Neverland.
watched 5 animes ever.
Promise
So-
Neverland from this season could potentially very easily get itself into a top 5 if it ends as good as it has continued going so far.
Cool. Another one.
Neo Yokio is absolutely an incredible.
Can you fucking not?
What?
Like,
It's so
Like,
bad.
not an anime.
It's so
Having
not an anime.
rewatched it a few times and the Christmas special,
Right.
It's
Okay.
absolutely.
You got a pog. You got a pog anyway. What's your last honourable
You
mention?
know the best thing about watching Neo Yokio
Shut
was,
up!
it was getting pissed and playing Wii Sports afterwards.
Yeah,
Oh,
this man
yeah.
knows. This man knows.
But no, I genuinely.
Order.
I've developed a bit of a deep-rooted appreciation of Neo Yokio.
Last one. What's your last honourable
I just
mention?
heard
Honourable mention.
Soon,
Last-
because he's on about American cartoons.
Last honourable mention, because I think.
Kaneka Kun is always listless. That's a great show.
Right.
It's just like
I don't know what that is. Right. We want to know your number one.
Final show.
Wait.
Unfortunately,
Can I guess?
go for it.
Is it Danganronpa?
No.
Fuck.
Danganronpa anime is beyond garbage.
It's garbage.
It's beyond garbage.
Oh.
Number one.
Anyone else want to guess? Quick.
It's the one with the yeah.
No, Kinomizeki.
Right. Well, you're wrong.
It's Daily Life of High School Boys.
Is it Daily Life? Right. Michael, want to guess? Quick.
Oh, see, I want to say Anohana, but
Is it Anohana? Oh, he got it!
No, dude, he's lying. It's going to be a curveball. It's going to be like.
Did he get it?
League of Legends
No, it's
China
literally Anohana.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pog! Michael got it. That's a plus one anime point.
As one of the 2 animes that made you cry, I expected it.
It had to be up in the top 5 somewhere. So I put Anohana above I Want to Eat Your Pancreas because it was a longer experience. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is an hour-and-a-half film. Like, it's great. But it was only an hour and a half. But Anohana plus like a movie afterward is just like there's so much time invested in those characters and so much goes on.
One of those shows that you just feel like you're gonna die after you finish it. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Gate always gave you that feeling. Like it was it's on such a similar level with Anohana.
It gave me that feeling as well, Johnny, but I think it was for a completely different reason. And actually, I welcomed that feeling.
You would have accepted that.
No,
Gate is good. It's just a fact.
It is a fight. I'm glad that we've got taste, man. We've got taste. But yeah, I'd respect. I've heard a lot of good things about Anohana, and it was, I think, at some point something I should have going to watch at some point. No, it's a pretty solid list.
Like emotional dramas. Anohana is probably
yeah.
The best
We put in stuff that makes us like feel all emotional and that we when we sat in our rooms all alone. Pepe hands in at the anime.
Yeah.
Oh, it's speaking to me on a spiritual level. This girl with pancreatic cancer. Oh, touching me.
I think Planet as a series would make you cry and be more emotional more. Except Planet is about 60 episodes, and no one has that much time.
Bling-a-ling 1. What prompted that in particular? Men are allowed to feel emotion. Dude, I literally have a fucking cried list on my mail.
Cried list.
I think he's trying to make Paul okay with crying.
I should have put songs on.
Strong man. He said, "I've only cried at 2 things in my entire life."
Well, I'm so man.
And they were both anime.
I have my cry list on one page and my manly list on this page. Yes, I'm so butching.
Made me feel like a man and made me feel like
True manliness is crying at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
I agree. Quick rating of the list. I'm gonna say a 6 again. It's
I don't rate other people's lists because there's no accounting for taste. So I have the big
four. 4, 6.5, 4, 6. Oh, this hurt. Solid 7, 7.5. Oh man, 5.
If I'd have chosen,
let's say there's an average.
It seems like a 6.
It seems like a 6. I mean, I've called it, man. The average is 6. Right. Well, thank you very much, Ill Intelligence, for sharing your animes on the big stage. We shall now make our way to the most banned streamer on Twitch. It's Mr. That's why he's not streaming.
I banned myself.
Right, well, this one, we actually don't know how this could do we reckon this is going to be a better, is it going to be an improvement, or is it going to be worse than the list before? What do we think? Well, I just set up the list.
Is it Craig?
It is. It's Craig next.
This has a very easy chance of going either way.
Yeah,
I think I could probably guess maybe 3 or 4.
I can probably guess a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I could.
You all know exactly what number 1 is going to be. Because the thing is, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you found my list to be quite predictable, knowing me, because I am a person who talks about the things that I like very openly.
Also, this is like,
locked.
so you're gonna put like Sonic the Hedgehog in this, Jet Set Radio.
There's never been an animated Sonic show. Actually, the Sonic Boom animated was really, really fucking funny, but it's not an anime.
It's not an anime.
It's Canadian. So
it's all 5 seasons of Initial D. Absolutely, it's called it.
Well, in 5th place, it's Initial D Stage 1 for its inclusion of no.
Oh, I thought you were being serious. I thought we were off.
No.
Just to shout out Duke of Sorensen and True Dash. Thank you very much for your follows. Hope you're enjoying the show. Number 5, Shinon. What we starting off with? What we're kicking off with?
Okay.
So, right, let's all simmer down.
This is one from the top of the cried list. And
we're getting emotional already.
The moment in anime, and probably the moment in almost any media, that made me more upset, I think, and just perturbed than any other moment that I'd seen before. And that was the ending, specifically the last story arc of the 2nd season of Sword Art Online.
Yes!
There it is.
This is my humiliation moment, right?
Yes!
This is my shit on, more like shit taste on.
I've got to get my things.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'm not going to lie to you. In part, one of the motivations for picking the name that I picked was because it was also. It's pronounced the same as the name of one of the Sword Art Online Season 2 characters. Who the fuck cries at Sword Art Online unless it's how bad it is? Right, okay. So, the last arc of Season 2 was really, really sad, and there is a really, really emotional moment with a really good character. And I don't mean good character, and like a waifu or something like that. She wasn't a waifu at any point or in any way. I just think she's
absolutely amazing. Amazing.
That's even the worst version of that character, Johnny. You literally.
No, it's not. It's got blue hair. We all know that blue hair is the best. Here's another one. Chibi leaf hair.
The thing that happened to her was not a result of any particular villain or grand plot or part of the main story arc at all. It was just like a horrifying fact of life, but it was interwoven so well with the implications of what full dive virtual reality technology could have on the real world were ever introduced to those problems. So I thought that, you know, in terms of tying Sword Art Online into life, it felt real, and it made me very, very sad. And I can't watch that scene at all. I had to leave the room.
Which one? Which scene?
It's the last episode of Sword Art Online Season 2.
When you find out what the problem was.
No. You find out like a couple of episodes. Like it's led up to, and it's like. Do you mind if I spoil it?
Well, I try. No, not yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
No, yeah. I mean.
Spoilers. Who's gonna go away from this and watch Sword Art Online? Nah, don't spoil. Don't spoil. All right, there's a very sad. There's a sad scene. There's a sad scene at the end.
The first arc was like a really fun, action-packed murder mystery, and the aesthetic of the Gun Gale world that they went to was so cool.
Gun Gale.
With a lightsaber was awesome. Kirito was like a kind of trap aesthetic girl character. Was
disgusting.
Awesome.
That was the one thing I didn't like.
Awesome. So much so that I had absolutely no objections whatsoever basing my name in part on her, even though she's not actually my favourite character. You know, Asuna. I'm thinking of the wrong redhead.
She's got
name beginning with A there.
Asuna.
Asuna's character kind of redemption over the course of that series was fantastic, and she really took to the forefront in the last arc. And then the filler arc in the middle was light-hearted fun, and it mainly featured and starred Klein, who was one of the coolest characters from the first season that I wish had more time.
Yes.
To be honest,
Fampinoz
would be better if it was about Klein and not Kirito.
I mean, part of the reason people don't like Sword Art Online is because Kirito is so boring and generic.
Yeah, he gets.
Yeah, but he was like the first one, and me and Shannon have this conversation all the time. How it's like there's such a, it's cool to hate on sort of online, like, and it's so cringy that's the thing, because it's like sit down and watch it, and it's actually quite. I mean, I say that, but I've not watched Full Metal Alchemist, but
the music and the art style and the animation, the aesthetic, it's like A1 at their creative and budgetary peak, and
absolutely.
Yeah, the music's fantastic as well, composed by a certain Yuki Kajiura, who is so distinctive. She's the one Japanese composer that I can pick out with 100% accuracy in everything she's ever composed for. And yeah, we'll talk about her later on in this list. Don't you worry. And
okay, number 4. What number 4?
Number 4 is a movie, and that movie is Summer Wars.
I tried to guess there.
What were you about to guess?
No, it's okay. We'll see if it comes up.
Oh, so it's not come up yet.
That's all right. There are a couple more movies on this list. So,
lad, you've got some compliments on this one.
And Summer Wars is just one of those classic, just everyone-friendly anime that has such an easy-to-understand concept executed in such an artful way. Like, I don't know how to. I don't really know how to describe it eloquently, but like, it's a bit like the Digimon movie, and I know that this is going to draw the ire of a lot of people.
I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah. I have a comment on that.
Yeah.
Hosoda Mamoru directed both.
What? Really? Seriously?
Hosoda Mamoru directed that Digimon movie you're probably thinking of.
Right. Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry, I'm just thinking of like the art style. Oh my god, yes he did.
And I have another point to add.
Mirai
of the Future was the best Hosoda Mamoru film, and if you haven't seen it, go watch Mirai of the Future instead. It's better than Summer Wars.
Oh, thanks. And
wow, you're dissing his list. Wow, dissing his list. Just because your list was a 6 out of 10 doesn't mean you have to go and attack someone else's list.
I'm not attacking Summer Wars.
I now know which one you're talking about. When I was in London a few months ago, I saw it advertised on the tube everywhere, and I was like, it's such a fucking shame that there is no chance I'm going to be anywhere near a cinema that's showing this on this specific
I think you
day.
might be able to watch it online now.
Yeah, probably. And when it comes out, I'll probably get it, but it's too recent and I haven't seen it, I'm afraid. And yeah,
you would absolutely love it.
Summer Wars genuinely has one of the best dubs I've ever seen. So the estranged uncle who comes back halfway through the film, who is kind of responsible for the way that things go tits up in the first place, is voiced by the same guy who voices Kaji in the Rebuild of Evangelion films. Right. And he was just like the perfect choice to voice him. He sounds it's brilliant, brilliant casting, great script, brilliant story, and it's kind of a cautionary tale about what happens when you put too many of your eggs, so to speak, in the same digital basket. It's one of like the dangers of centralization and account linking and kind of overt monopolies and homogenization of the internet. Yeah, it's one of the best sort of like cases in point for why blockchain technology is necessary. And I was big into that a couple of years ago, so it's like super on point.
How many the worlds do we have?
What?
We've had 2 so far. Do we have any more coming up?
Right, well, number 3.
Favorite worlds.
Number 3?
Number 3 is Perfect Blue, which possibly you thought was going to be on that list.
What an absolutely impeccable taste. What an absolute...
Perfect Blue is my favorite Satoshi Kon film. Sorry, Paprika fan.
No, honestly, I'm more bothered about like as long as you've picked a Takeshi's Castle Con film, like I'm so sold.
And you can't say that.
I can't. I've just muddled my words. It was a bit of a tongue twister. It's not my list yet. It's not my list yet.
Perfect Blue is a horror or a thriller because
thriller
and horrifying. It disorientates you to the point that
thriller.
you actually, by the end of the film, you don't know
What you
who's
watched.
dead, who's not, and who's killed who. And it keeps you in suspense until almost the very last scene as to the party or parties who are responsible for the events that happen in the film or that may not happen. You know, you don't actually know until the end whether parts of it are just a delusion in the main character's mind. There's sort of like a dream sequence where something bad happens to her and she wakes up, and it's kind of Inception-like in a way that kind of foreshadowed a lot of the kind of midsection of Paprika. But yeah, no, it's very sort of multi-layered, artistic, and very well told
get
film.
out of there with the Tokyo Godfathers. It's not even.
The soundtrack. If you don't like Angel of Love from Perfect Blue, you don't know J-pop from the 90s, man.
Is it the one thing that Satoshi Kon has voiced it as well?
I'm not sure actually. I've seen only the Japanese version, and twice in the cinema.
I know that there's only one thing he's voiced in, but I can't remember which film it was.
I don't remember either. It might have been Tokyo Godfathers, and it might have been a cameo in Paprika. I don't know, but I really want to see Millennium Actress, because that's another Satoshi Kon film with an awesome soundtrack.
Boom!
It's such a nut film.
Controversial.
What did you just say?
Was pretty damn crap.
But anyway,
What?
the way that, like,
is the
What?
worst Con film in my opinion.
the way that the imagery and
I can't listen to this.
in Perfect Blue
I've banned
the movie.
Will and Bill
so
banned.
It's brilliant, and I love it. And like the ending, the last scene. I can talk about the construction of the last scene in a way that won't spoil it, right? And it's just the way that the credits roll starts gives you like a sort of jump start. You know what I mean, Bill, right? Like the credits music comes on with this like kind of like drum solo at the beginning, and you just the tension in the movie sort of like relaxes and relaxes and relaxes, and the last scene's kind of mellow and calm, and then one of the characters looks in a mirror and says a particular line, and then the credits music starts and it rolls, and it's just like this kind of release of we finally know what happened sort of thing. It's the resolution in that film.
There was a point in Perfect Blue where I was just like, you know what? I don't know what's happening.
I could barely agree
go with
for
it
like
anyway.
half of that film. I was just on the edge of my seat. I saw it in the cinema twice on special screenings, both times.
You'll like this, actually.
Absolutely, just like heart-stopping.
There's a local cinema near me. It's like a charity cinema. And it's very cheap, but every month they have a like Asian film night, and I suggest they try and do Perfect Blue. And I found out, to my joy, that they still have, I think, a 3.5 or 35 mil film, like reel of Perfect Blue.
Oh,
damn!
They genuinely have a 35 mil film of the original.
That's aesthetic quality.
Damn. We because when I was in when I went to the movies and saw it, both times it was a digital cinema package, which is fine. I mean, God, not complaining about that at all. In fact, I'd rather watch it like that. But that's pretty cool.
It's like an experience, like watching it on film will be just.
Well, if you're allowed to smoke in the cinema as well, that would.
No. Right. We'll keep it moving on. I don't know, I'd bounce them, but we'll keep it moving on. Number 2, have we got Shaw here?
All right, so judging by what has gone by so far, 2 and 1 can really be two things, and I kind of want you guys to guess what they are.
Is it Drifting Cars Boys and Eurobeat soundtrack?
I know what one will probably be, but I don't want to say.
Which one? Where are you thinking comes in? Where do you think Tofu Drifting comes?
Tell me my two favourite.
He's always said it doesn't appear on the list because it's a terrible show with a great soundtrack.
I've never watched all of Initial D.
You watched all the first season, though, right?
I've never seen all of it. I've just listened to all of the soundtrack.
So I'm wrong then.
Yeah. So you are wrong. Initial D is not even in the honourable mention. I've never watched it all.
I think I know what the top 2 will be.
All right. So you know.
No, it's not Initial D. Initial D is not in the list. I'm completely stumped.
Yeah.
Go on, Will.
I'd honestly expect it to be Evangelion and Madoka.
Yeah.
Right. What about?
Madoka is number 1, I reckon.
I'd say
unless you count.
I want to go with the opposite.
That would beat out.
What did you say? What did you say, Michael?
I want to guess the opposite. I want to guess Evangelion first.
I think Madoka Evangelion first.
But you guys are pretty unanimous on the top two being Madoka and Evangelion in some order. Because the reason why I'm doing the guess my top two now is because the number two will spoil the number one. So in second place, it's Evangelion.
Oh wait, the films or the series?
The whole thing? Am I allowed to say the whole thing?
Yeah, we'll count the whole thing.
Even though I haven't seen the third one yet, of the point in the story to which Evangelion 2.0 goes, I prefer the Rebuild series for sure.
Yeah.
And there are a few problems with the original TV series. Having rewatched it like recently, that stopped it from being my number one. And actually, I actually rated the original TV series 8 out of 10 because it's actually not well paced enough to be a 9. These shows, by the way, on my top 5 list are not necessarily in order of how I rated them out of 10 on my MAL. I didn't just pick the 10s and the 9s and leave it at that. Because I need to adjust all my ratings because my standards have changed and tastes have changed and all the rest of it. And ratings 5 years on from when I started them are meaningless, right? So number 2 is Evangelion, and Neon Genesis Evangelion was actually the first proper anime I ever watched. If you don't count the stuff that was on TV when we were kids, like Pokemons and Card Captors and Yu-Gi-Ohs and etc., so Beyblades, right? Although Beyblade is Will's true number one.
Yes, Beyblade. It's Beyblade.
That was probably your greatest moment, Will, was splicing the OP of Evangelion onto Beyblade.
It was so good.
That was awful. I have to explain that in more detail later on.
But also you loved it as well.
So
in a lot of ways, I'm kind of biased towards the Evangelion universe in general, because it was the first thing that I saw. However, I feel like it was a really, really good place to start. And as Jack mentioned earlier, the first movie is basically just an amped up, recut, and lean, mean, and turned up to 11 version of the first 6 episodes, which I wholeheartedly support. And the second movie improved upon, like, the parts that it drew from the original series, it improved upon in every way, and then the new angels that they added and the new characters they added were also fantastic. I thought it was the character that they chose to be the pilot for Unit 3, I want to say. It is Unit 3, isn't it? Yeah, the character that they chose to be the pilot for Unit 3 was a much, much better choice in Rebuild than it was in the original series, I thought. And I feel like it resolved a lot of lingering, unspoken elements of Shinji's character development in a lot more satisfying a fashion than the original series did. Problems with the original series: too much filler in the first half, not enough focus on development in the second half, and the last 2 episodes were a bit of a clusterfuck.
Congratulations.
I just couldn't face the rest.
Now, what do you make of what do you think of the twist that I gave on Evangelion? Do you not think that could have been? Do you think that's better than or worse than the original series? The opening.
Oh, what, the opening, the OP song?
Yeah, but what's better? What's better? Their OP. Or my OP.
He's on about his shitty YouTube.
What? That's not the right adjective to use.
He's on about if like the visuals for that are better than the actual opening. I think that's what
mostly Dutch.
All right.
Since it's Shinji.
I love the music in Neon Genesis Evangelion, just in general. The soundtracks, like, it's one of the best sort of orchestral style soundtracks I've ever heard, and also one of the best like fusions of like guitar rock with that. I could sing any piece of background music from Neon Genesis Evangelion. And
I'm good at doing Ghost in the Shell.
Be able to place where in the show it would be likely to turn up. Yeah, right. Exactly. Background music is not really known.
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah.
as that.
Let
But yeah,
play
I love
amongst the stars.
the aesthetic, the animation's superb quality, and the music's great, and it's one of the most influential, revolutionary, and generally most interesting animes that I've ever seen.
We got just. I am sorry. We got still got a bit to get through. So number one was. Say you feel free to announce your number one. I've already wrote it down, but
is it Rebellion or is it the show?
Sorry,
is it Rebellion or is it the show?
Can I again pick all of it?
Oh, because that's such a cop out. Yeah, of course you can.
It's one thing, right? Like it's one story from beginning to end. However, if I were to recommend a way of watching Madoka Magica, it would be watch the TV series and then watch Rebellion.
I've been telling you
yes.
to do that, because Rebellion's full title
is the third Madoka movie, but the first two are just a recap of the original series anyway. And the original series expands upon some essential elements of character development that were stripped out in the movie's version. You don't get Mami's motivation for becoming a magical girl. It's like, what?
I don't think I've watched a single magical show.
It's like a film that's made for the fans that have already seen the series.
Unless you count
Aqua and Megumin as a magic.
Megumin as a magic girl, yeah. She's got magic. Does explosions. That's a magical. She's a magical girl. Aqua.
And I'm not gonna go on about it being a
girl.
deconstruction or a reconstruction of magical girl tropes, because frankly I don't know what those words mean any more than anybody listening to this does. But I just think it's I love the characters so much. Again, it's like it's a similar. It did a similar thing for magical girls for me that Evangelion did for mech shows, but sort of it was its decades Evangelion.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Anyway.
Right, and it's another example of
I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask. Will, how do you rate that list?
Well, where do I start?
He's been lying down in his chair like this.
He's been sat back.
slowly, like processing just how bad a list.
Brain cell. Like, go on, Will.
You know what? Overall, the list it actually isn't bad. It's far better than Bulls. Like Sword Art Online. I'm not gonna lie. I actually really love that show just because it's like my first anime. So I just like
my first anime. We all like our first animes.
It's enormously successful.
I've read like a few of the light novels. I've like rewatched the show and stuff. It's a bit pathetic.
I didn't do my honorable mentions.
Well, sorry, go. 3 honorable mentions. Go.
Yeah, real quick. Fuck, I have 6 here. Fuck.
I don't remember that show.
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
I have 6 here. That's one of them.
Right? And the girl who leapt through time.
That's a good one. I like that one. That should have been.
Wait, what were the other two? I missed them.
Summer Wars, which is a terrible film.
What were the other two you said?
The other two were Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yes, Devil is a Part-Timer. It's a 6 show.
Fucking great show.
What a great show.
So much fun to watch. We watched that at Anime Society.
Yeah, we watched. Yeah.
Successively got voted
definitely going. We're definitely going McRonald's in Japan.
It was like a Funimation dub from the classic era of back when Funimation dub actually really meant something, especially in
now they've caused a lot of drama with the voice actors, but that's another story.
Now I've cancelled my Funimation subscription.
What, because of that?
What's been happening? Not just over that. There's a few things that.
Fair. Yeah, big dramas. God, that's talk for another time.
But I've been to Funimation now for the foreseeable future.
So,
right, audience. Well done, Shinon. Well done, Shinon, for your list. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Evangelion reference there. Yeah. Everyone, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think his taste is. We've got Sword Art Online, Summer Wars, Perfect Blue, Neon Genesis, and Madoka Magica. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Michael, what you saying?
A solid 7.
A solid 7. I'll give you Perfect Blue, Neon Genesis, Sword Art Online on there. I'm tipping for an 8 actually. I'm tipping for an 8. So I'm gonna.
What can I replace SAO with from my honourable mentions if it would make a difference to the quality?
Yeah, Devil is a Part-Timer. You've got to put that in there.
Dragon Maid, because you've already got Hosoda Mamoru and Summer Wars, and you can't really use both. So I'd say Dragon Maid.
And Dragon Maid would
What
be
we've got there: 8 out of 10 bar SAO. It's a stellar list. 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 6 out of 10 better than Bulls. Will, you've got to absolutely agree. Will's the voice of reason on this section. Right, well, we get to shuffle Shinon across to the side and bring Michael back onto the stage because he's about to tell us, and so we can say that Michael is wise with anime. He's seen everything.
Like an authentic.
Yeah, this is like what you think it's going to be like. This is like your 10 out of 10 list because Michael's seen everything. So
it's not actually all 10 out of 10s. It's a little bit of a mix.
Yeah, it's got to be like the ones that you enjoyed, but just like they are actually.
There's different reasons.
I don't think I'd be able to place Mike's top 10. Honestly, I'm not sure I'd even know where to begin with Mike.
I think I know. I think I could guess. I think I could guess one of them. I genuinely think, but I don't know where it is on the list, and so.
Flip flap.
No, I'm not. No, I wouldn't have said flip flap.
I still haven't finished.
Thing is, I would have said Mob Psycho because he cosplayed Mob Psycho, and if you cosplay an anime, it means you must like it. Right, no, go start at number 5.
Number 5, we start off with the movie No Game No Life 0.
Whoa! Okay.
So it was something that I only actually watched recently. It was only like a few months back that I watched it, but I think it's just a really solid like backstory to the whole thing.
Yeah, man,
and it kind of just leads up to the actual anime just fine. And it kind of takes out all the fan servicey stuff in.
Oh, we don't want that in our animes. No, we don't want that. We want proper shows, proper story. We don't want nice distractions. We want some content, proper content. Not that kind of content.
Keijo 10 out of 10.
No, if I would explain, Keijo was your 3 a.m. anime. This is like you sat down. This is like what you watch after tea. Like you watch some proper show.
It was a really good one.
Proper show.
My favorite film.
Your favorite film ever?
Well, not out of all the films, but.
All right, flipping it. I was gonna have a heart attack on that one if you said that.
A very bold statement.
Yeah, if you said No Game No Life was your favorite film, and I'm like, I bigged you up so much to have a really good list, and he's just said that is his favorite film.
Yeah.
Number 4. No, I just the thing is, I know what I want to guess, but I can't. No, I'll risk it. I'll risk it and hope that it's the last one, but or it might be an honorable. It might be an honorable mention.
So number 4 for me is Symphogear.
Symphogear.
Really? That's
So it's not a highly rated show. Like it's one of the lower down ones, but I really just like how wild they get with it. They just kind of get more and more ridiculous with the battles. But on top of that, like the music is super good. Managed to convince people to watch it as well, and they really enjoy it as well.
There's been a big Symphogear push, hasn't there?
Yeah.
It
got into one of the random roulettes one year, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was quite good.
And some people put it into their plan to watches, I think, after that as well.
And they never actually saw it.
Yeah. But yeah, the music is super good. Fight scenes are really good, and everyone's a good character.
Good.
There was like a Macross series that had singing in it, wasn't
that'd be. Yeah.
I think all the Macross is on it. Macross F.
Got an Anisog.
Macross F is the main one.
Macross Delta was big idol as well, because like the whole first episode was.
I thought the original was as well. It was like a story around an idol.
I think Macross in general might just be.
Macross Frontier is the one that I was thinking of.
It's just like it's like the idol mech, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idol mech. How the fuck did those two concepts get jammed together in such a like?
You've also got AKB, haven't you, Mike? That's not quite idol mechs.
You're asking how, but it's not just because it's Japan. It's like big giant robots singing girls. Right, let's just fucking jam that. Print money.
Third one. So number 3 is Cardcaptor Sakura.
Okay. I probably should have guessed.
Yeah. That one for me Yeah, it's a kind of nostalgia trip because it's something I've seen as a kid whilst it was airing on like CITV. But at the same time, it's actually my most rewatched show. So
One moment.
Mhm.
The English OP or the Japanese OP?
Well, for me personally, the original series, I would actually say the English because that's what I kind of grew up with.
Joke.
But if I had to pick the Japanese openings, it'd end up being the Clay Card series. But yeah, it's one of the shows that I kind of really vividly remember. So
Cool.
it had
I was
to be
always
up
a big
there.
fan of "Catch You, Catch Me, Catch You, Catch You, Mate." I love that.
That one is a catchy song.
Great song.
Real men listen to English.
I mean, the only thing I can't really, I don't like, it's hard for me to comment on shows with magical girls and cards, and I don't know. I say card cap. I don't even know if card caps are magical girls because I don't think it's something I'm just gonna go.
Yes, it's magic.
It's like
There's a girl
it's
and
like
she
I
has
watch.
magic powers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Magical Girl.
No, but no, it's not. No, it's
No,
not. Is
Magical
it?
Girl Yu-Gi-Oh is Whitcross. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. I forgot the name, but you knew what.
Real
what show it
men
was.
listen to English covers. Yes. Like the Berserk OP is English.
Yes. Real men listen to the Eurobeat remix of the English Bloody Stream cover.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Turbo Orchismo.
Yes.
What a fucking laugh.
Real men listen to the Eurobeat English OP of
I am
Darling in the Franks.
Really good friends with Turbo Autism. You know who that is, right?
No.
No.
He did. Oh, you don't know who that is?
No.
So okay, so Turbo Autism is a Eurobeat producer who started really, really recently, and he does like Eurobeat remixes of anime OPs, and they are so good. He is an absolute fucking natural. He did.
Wait, did I show him to you, or you seen him before I linked you bloody stream?
No, I knew
I like
about
the
him.
Minecraft bloody stream.
I found his Renai Circulation remix, and it's absolutely.
A taste of history bloody stream. Through the darkness, strong and silent.
Oh dear.
No, it's yikes. Secret. Number 2 on Mike's list.
Right. Number 2 would have to be Rakugo.
Hey?
How do I spell that? Rakugo?
Rakugo.
Okay, I think I spelled it right.
Yeah, this one.
I don't know what it's about.
It's really different. You kind of have to have a mindset of concentration because it's quite word heavy. But it's a really good drama.
Hey, just Fox. Is it just Foxley?
Honestly,
I mean, yeah, we could literally swap, but yeah.
Why have these all got like little girls
Like,
in
the two
it?
Asians we know have the exact same list. Is that fucking telling? Though?
But
Whoa! They're from different cultures. Like they're not the same.
Yeah, what's
Vietnam
the
and
other
China
one?
are 2 different places.
He was the one that kind of got me to watch it. But
Oh, it's all Fox's fault.
but yeah, it's a really good drama. You get to hear all the like classic Rakugo stories
Not.
in it, and it's just so good. I don't know how much more I could say.
Monogatari is number 1. I don't. I mean,
if it's Fox,
Oh, if
yeah.
it's Fox list. Oh, I thought he liked Clanad. Does he not like that as well?
True. Clanad would be top 5 as well.
Yeah.
That might actually be
For him,
more.
it would be Lil Busters.
Does he prefer Little Busters to Clanad?
I don't know. It's
Sure,
kind of
you
For
know,
anyone,
his
for
name
anyone who,
is in
Yeah.
Clanad.
obviously for anyone who doesn't know, Flock is a little Vietnamese boy who likes cycling and watches let's say watches the questionable other end of the spectrum out of it. Honorable mention. I think this is going to be in his honorable mentions, because I think that I know I think you've raved about the show a lot, and I think in your honorable mentions is Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, that would probably be one of the ones that I picked.
Because I raved about that one a lot, and it is, and I've heard good things. So yeah, if you say it's good, it's probably.
There are some. It's not the most emotional, but there are some really emotional stuff in it, and I cried a lot watching it. So
Which
kind of up there.
Violet Evergarden.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on like a bit ago. Vice President, may rest in peace.
Yeah.
Pray.
As for the honorable mentions, it would probably be Mob Psycho would be one.
Yeah, defo.
Because I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
I really like action. And the other one would probably be, I'd probably honestly say Anohana, because that one is the one that made me cry the most.
As it should, as it is designed.
Not
to
even
do.
Zeta the Last Witch. That's just got so that's so much sadness in it. And
oh no!
What about in Girls and Panzer when the tanks break down? It's so sad and tragic, and it's.
They drift the tank. It makes me cry.
I think the best. I was going to say our best comment that I can give on Mob Psycho, and I'm actually like, because I've watched the second season, I'm like feel like I'm quite a big fan of it now, and it's like One Punch Man is, it's like that demonstrates a very, very good anime, but then it's like, but if you want to watch something better and see how creative this guy really is, go watch Mob Psycho, because that's done a lot better, and the story's so great to follow, and it's got so much comedy. The comedy is so much better in it as well.
Yeah.
So much better.
Well, doesn't the guy he prefers to work on Mob Psycho? Doesn't he? He's basically just given up on One Punch Man now.
Yeah, but they had to make One Punch Man 2 because it was such a big thing.
I think the manga's still going on, but it's the guy that draws it's doing it now, and then one kind of focuses on making sure Mob Psycho is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a normie hit. It is true. It's like, I mean, I could say it's like Attack on Titan. It's like why it's so popular, because they just pumped out seasons. I don't know if it's like it's.
I would say they pumped out seasons. It took like 6 years for season 2.
It took ages.
It took a long.
It feels like it's been out all the time. I'm sort of a biased. I'm sort of an outsider on looking in on the Attack on Titan fandom. To be fair, so.
The first season came out in the same year that Sword Art came out, and they were like the two big anime of that year. Well, it was 2012.
That was like the year that anime blew up as well. So it's
had a great first 5 episodes that caught people. Yeah.
And it's they were massive hits that also hit across people normies and people who are either on the edge of being in anime or not.
I love how we just said there's normies. It catches normies, and it's like fishing.
I've spoken to guys.
Get your normie net out.
Oh, dude, I checked out this thing called Attack on Titan.
It's like get your normie net out and you've got to attach it with all the baits attractive girl, relatable main character. Some weird animal girl. Animal girl, throw it in. Now, you simmer down there, young man, because we're about to get onto that, and I'm not going to spoil anything.
Down Attack on Titan.
No, now you can shut up as well, because we will touch on this. Number one for it, Michael. What is it?
So, number one, I say it to a lot of people. It's gonna be Psycho Pass.
Oh, Psycho Pass.
I was expecting something interesting. I don't know.
But
we know where I stand on Psycho Pass in the I speak on Psycho Pass.
You got a poggy. A big pog.
For me, Psycho Pass.
I'm assuming you're only on about season 1 and not season 2, right?
Oh yeah, season 1 only. Season 2 doesn't exist for me.
Alright, I'll make sure it's on season 1. S1 only. Yeah, it's important to write only.
It's like kind of like a mystery, kind of detective-y show.
Sorry, what number was it? Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Yeah, number one.
Fuck, there's been 5 of them already.
No, One Piece. We're not voting One Piece.
Tina's
One
not
Piece
even in the
isn't-
same room right now.
One Piece
I'm
isn't happening.
Just sort of like descending into thoughts, really.
But
Think about Sonic the
really-
Hedgehog.
I really like how everything kind of pans out, like the whole kind of underlying plot line, and just kind of how psychological it gets. It's really like a makes you think kind of show.
Really should think.
Yeah.
That's
Thunky.
really good episode to get you into it as well. Where it's
Yeah.
like, it's like a single case and then it like evolves into a bigger one.
Yeah. It's kind of what kept me going with it. Just like how does this end? How does this all kind of come together?
Season 3. Are you?
That's a really good job as well.
Is
Yeah.
Is there a season 3 coming for it?
Yeah, season 3.
Are you excited
was
for season
recently
3?
announced. Yep, I am very excited.
Are you hoping it's better than
Even though
season
season
2?
2 was crap. And quote
Season 2, yeah, I can ignore, but season 3 could be
Oh,
good.
hope. His fingers crossed.
I have hope. I still need to watch.
Michael
the
doesn't
movie,
use profanity. He says, "I will just ignore that season." He doesn't say any other adjectives about that, about how good or how bad it was. Well, thank you
There
very
are
much.
2
Thank
seasons of Psycho Pass, 1 and 3.
One. Right,
I
thank,
think, yeah.
thanks, Polarity, for your contributions. Well done. Thank you very much. Into the stage there. Bow. What we're rating that list, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thinking.
Probably can't actually rate Mike's list because I haven't actually seen.
No, and I'm glad someone else said that because I can't rate it either.
The only show I've
Fanpy's gone
genuinely,
for.
seen and experienced is Psycho-Pass, and I didn't. I mean, I infamously fell asleep during episodes of Psycho-Pass.
That was
The
so
only-
funny. That was the most. It was consistent week on week as well. It was so funny.
So that's not a good mark in my eyes, but everything else I honestly can't. I mean, I know Rakugo is a good show, and I know Symphogear might be a good show depending on what kind of.
Oh.
So
What,
I would-
what's there?
So
No.
5 out of 10.
If I would rate
7,
all these
8,
shows on
just
that-
say 8.
In life, and you get 2 points for Psychopath, you get 1 for Card Captor.
I probably have to say 5 only because the only thing I've seen is Psycho-Pass, and I didn't like Psycho-Pass. So it's not fair for me to assume the other shows.
That's true, but what you can say about that list is it's a list that you should consider. Thinking.
Got to consider some of the stuff.
Gotta
on that list.
consider if
I
they're
do
on
know
that list. You gotta
all the
Are you
Yeah.
consider.
keeping
it.
track of the average ratings? I can't load the stream at the same time as being on webcam.
You can't see the
People
chat.
said- People have said 9, 8.
But you can
7,
hear us.
7.
I'm saying it's about an average of
This
about
is
7.
fine,
It's
just
about
time to get into that.
so that's 7, 8 on that list.
Somewhere around there.
So yeah, thank you very much for that. I guess it's time for the actual good part of the show where I
Do we,
come.
can we
where-
just say like 3 out of 10? Or
This way, John is going to give his top 5, and we're all just going to cry.
Number 1 out of 10.
Actually, no, I'm not going to spoil. I know what
I think I can maybe guess what the.
But I won't.
are.
I won't say.
I don't think you can get. Well, maybe, but you can't get them in the right order.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I can get the order, but I think I can guess what.
Like I've actually put these in an order, and I'm not, and I'll be very impressed if you actually got, because you kind of. The thing is, you kind of all know. I don't know if chat knows, and apparently they all know about the gate thing, but I don't get that how they know that, but it's, but this list is like so. Look, I do take a bit of a light stance on anime, but there's some stuff that I genuinely liked, and I have a top 5 that I think is as solid as I could make it without being a bit ridiculous.
Is this like must be solid or unanimous?
You're probably all gonna hate it, but the thing is, I kind of think
I've got 6 shows. I have to try and guess which one's not going to.
full of good characters.
It's like the list is solid, but that's like saying it's like being offered a bourbon and getting like a dog biscuit. It's like,
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
let's
know,
go. Let's go.
Right. Okay. Do you want to have a guess what's at number 5?
I mean, it depends if you want them.
All right. So no. All right. Okay. So at number 5 is you've
I'm
gone.
going to count on my fingers how many I guessed in my head.
You've gone for
I'd probably say
No, number 5.
No, I think no.
Number 5 is.
One that I just said, that'll be higher up. There's no way that's.
Ghost in the Shell.
Dude, his top 5 is going to be all Joe.
No, it's Cabanera of the Iron. It's Cabanera of the Iron Fortress. It's number 5.
That had to be up there.
that was obviously
Explain Cabanera of
The Iron Fortress. So no, because I need a drink to explain Cabanera of the Iron Fortress.
Well, there's a train, right?
Basically, the legacy is that there was when I was explaining this show at a pub, the girl that I was explaining it to was never seen again, and no one saw her ever again. No, I love it's so. I think it's great. I just think it's like such a good show. It's got a train in it, for crying out loud, like that runs over zombies, and that's like such a good. That's so cool.
It's a good show because it has a train in it. Well,
Yeah. What else do you need?
How to train your zombie.
It's good. Then
if your only argument is it has a train in, it's good. Then
all right, no,
that's
no.
a reasonable argument.
Let's be serious. Right? So there's a girl. No. That's not. It's got cast in
You didn't even realise it was 12.
Zombie. She's called right. There's a right. Okay. Okay. I'll do my best to explain. There's a guy called is Tsukomi, and he. There's a zombie apocalypse, but there's a train, and then the zombie he gets trapped in the shed with a zombie, and then the zombie eats him, but then somehow saves himself because he cuts himself, and then it's like he strangles
It
himself.
sounds like a really shit cosplay.
Yeah, and then get this right. So the zombie's like bit his hand or something, so this is like his virus is spreading in his body. So what he does is sort of gets this like steel bracelet or necklace and like shuts his neck shut, and then that stops the blood flow. But then his face goes all purple, and it's like, oh no, you survived, and you've got the power of the Cabanera. And everyone's like, oh wow, you're so powerful now. And he hops onto a train and rides that, and there's a fierce woman at the wheel, so you know it's a feminist show. And then you've got you've got No Name, which is actually called Mume, and she walks around in these cute little shoes that are like, you know, them like sort of like wooden stilty shoes, and she's got like they got little bells on, and when she's coming and she's like ha la da 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 Mume, and then the zombies come and it's like, wow, I'm a Cabanera too, and then it's like, oh, but you don't actually know a backstory. But then there's like this evil man who's coming after her, and he wants the Iron Fortress, and then it all kicks off because all the palaces start crumbling down, and there's a big wall at the end, and it's like and then the train comes like through the wall, and then it all kicks off again, and she's being like sort of like she's trapped in like some weird cabiny heart, and then it's like Ikomi has to come and save the day, but Ikomi has a sort of like breakdown moment, and it's like I'm not good enough. And then sort of like, and then he goes, nah, you are actually good enough. And then he's like, he comes and saves the day. It's so great. It's so much fun. Is he done? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done. Can I unmute it now?
So from what I got, there's a train and there's some zombies.
But I like it.
Train,
I like it.
Right.
So you got this train. Right.
It goes noom.
And it goes noom. And it kills zombies, and then there's a wall, and it's Attack on Titan.
No, it's not Attack on Titan. Right. And there's a film coming out, and it's going to be the sequel to it, and it's going to tell us all about Mume, and I can't wait. So that's going to be well exciting. That's going to be well exciting.
Right, let's move on. You've had 5 minutes to explain shit. Move on.
No, it's not. Right, number 4. I was going to give you a little clue for this one. So, any guesses? No, it's not Crash Bandicoot.
You know that Konosuba is going to be in this list. You know Paprika is going to be in this list. You know that
Konosuba, Paprika, Gate, and JoJo.
He's literally just picked up Aqua.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you're all wrong. That's where you're all wrong.
Hey, Johnny, turn your lights off and then shine a black light on that figure.
It's the character.
Any clues?
Is it Aqua?
It's a place further than the universe.
It is a place further than the universe. You're all wrong. You've all forgot about that show. That show is 100% the best thing that ever aired that season.
I mean, it's number 4 best thing.
I said that season. But
what's the Eurocamp that season as well?
Yeah, I was
Eurocamps in me honourable mentions, but A Place Fairer Than Universe has like it has such the greatest story of 4 strangers that sort of have their own problems, and they all go, you know what, girls, let's just go Antarctica. You know, like let's just do it, and then they go because one of the girls wants to go because mum. She wants to find out about her mum. And I'm not going to say anything else more because it's like, have some tissues ready, like this. Have some tissues ready. Have some tissues ready. No, for the genuine emotional reasons, not for the other kind of, you know, what you keep, what sort of sticky things you keep in your toolbox, like that might be warm. No. No. Place Fairer Than Universe, 100%, and it's mine and Mr. Lucas Bourne's, one of our favourites. Shout out to Lucas. And it was Eurocamp is an honourable mention because I do have a little Nendoroid of Nadeshiko. She's cute too. This is all Michael's fault, by the way. All this is happening.
Everything. His entire experience is because of Mike.
Number 3. Now, this is kind of, well, I'm going to say this is sort of a bit more hashtag blame Mike. I'm going to start a GoFundMe as well to help me deal with the post-traumatic stress of anime. Number 3 is a shout out to Mr. Fox because it is all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It had to.
No, wait. Based on your own rule, part 4 has to be number 1 because you cosplayed.
Wait, so let me get onto this because, like 4, it's hard because 5's not finished yet. So I'm gonna go like 4, 3, 5, 2, 1. That's my order.
1 + 1 makes 2, 2 and 1 makes 3.
That's my order, but all of it's so sick. It's so hard to rate it. I rate the openings, like I know which are the good openings, like Great Days and Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town and Bloody Stream, and then you've got the worst OPs like Chase, Chase. There's nothing said, and the best endings like I think What Like an Egyptian, Last Train Home. Roundabout's like an elite, like that's like one of the elite tier like anime openings.
Roundabout is just on another level.
It's like another level. It's so genius that's an ending.
It's such a meme, but it's a fucking brilliant song.
It's so good. And then I think one of the end, and then it got sort of like with part 4 and 5, you had the same ending for that, and having the same ending for the entire thing. It kind of still a bit on the fence about freaking you because you've got such like a cliffhanger, and then it goes, every time I close my eyes. Did
you see
and then the next line, and then you're like, why this doesn't fit?
Did you see that whatever his name is re-releasing the album with Freaking You?
Yeah, I did see that. That's just mad.
From the cover.
It's probably because it's the most famous he's ever been because of the fact it's in JoJo now. Jodeci. Jodeci. Yeah, JoJo, all of it. It's sick. Gotta say, it's sick.
I'll be back in just a couple minutes. I just briefly have to BRB. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. Well, we've lost.
I can't see how you like part 3. You think is better than the other ones.
What part 3?
Part 3 is easily.
Part 3's got such a great sort of look. It's jokes up until a point where it's like when Last Train Home starts as it's ending, and you're like, right, this is serious now, and then you're like, you've just watched all these fun times with 5 lads.
One where it's such a slog to go through.
No, it's not. Because you've gone through the journey. No matter how you've gone through all the ups and downs of like the best band of brothers in the best band of brothers in anime.
It's like Hunter x Hunter. People think that the ant arc's good because they have to sat through all of it. And it's like, no, making it long and crap does not make it good.
Each JoJo gets better than the last. Now, Bingaling, it's interesting you say that because when part 5 hadn't come out, I did rate JoJo 4, 3, 2, 1. Like without any questions, like 4, 3, 2, 1. It just gets better and better and better, and it really does. And I've got my little plushie here of part 4, Crazy Diamond.
I think I'd like 4 if I watched it. I could be bothered to because I think 4 would be.
I've got some figures up the top, which I've got Rohan and Gold Experience. Rohan I did cosplay expertly, slightly ghetto, but no, it was good. It was a lot of fun. I went with Speedwagon, and then Speedwagon couldn't come, so we had a in memoriam. Yeah, we had a photo frame of our Speedwagon cosplay friend. We pretended he died. We pretended he died of.
Frame picture somewhere.
We pretended he died of old age, heart attack. Yeah, Jojo. Without it's in there. It's in the top 5. I look forward to it as soon as it's there on Crunchyroll. I'm like, yes, it's in Jojo time. It's like, yeah, of course it will. Part 6 will be adapted, but it has to be. They all have to be. It's too popular for it not to be. I really think that. Right, yeah, number 2, and it's the only movie in the top 5, and it's not very hard for our guests to get.
It's like
Just in time. Wait,
What?
It's one film on the list, and we're saying he has to sing the song.
What?
Right, it's Johnny's top 5, and it's the one film that's going to appear on the list.
But it's so good.
He should sing the song.
Johnny, what are you crying for?
Because they're all horrible.
What's the film? Sorry, I'm not sure.
You will know what it is, you bastards.
What number is it?
You beasts. You utter.
What number is it? What number is it?
You utter beast.
Number 2.
2.
What was number 3? Was it Jojo?
Yeah.
Fucking a different universe tonight, Jesus. Or Jojo, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Paprika.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on, sing the Paprika theme, Johnny.
Wait, that's Parade.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
What sings Parade when?
Parade. Nah, Paprika's sick. Paprika's like so good.
You're just freestyling there, Johnny. Be real.
I need to hear it, or else I can't.
Looking at the lyrics. In a lyric.
Yeah.
The lyrics are.
It's like we're watching the movie.
Where the movie starts with a wonderful red-haired girl jumping around the streets, and then you find out that she's actually then she turns into the office where. Well, that's the opening.
No, he's doing one of his like Cabaneri style explanations, but for Paprika. I want to see where this goes.
No, it's
spoilers to be careful of.
There is spoilers to be careful of. So you see this red-haired girl walking around. She goes through into coffee shops and people's coffees, and she jumps in and out of everything, into cars, into bikes, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, she sort of like jumps in and out of the zebra lines on crossings, and it's madness, and the music's popping off, and going, I'm going so we can do it, gonna be and you're like, yes, this is banging. And I'm like so into this, and I can't wait to see where the story goes. And it's like, yes, and then it goes back into a car, which is driving along, and then it zooms in, and it's like, who's and you see this like colour, you see this like not coloured woman. That's not the right word. You see like this brown-haired woman. You see the brown-haired woman, and you're like, who's this? This is strange. The opening's got me perplexed, and I'm confused, and I'm interested. I'm interested in what's happened to this story. And then you follow her, and then she meets this big fat guy, and then it's like, and he's obviously like the techie nerdy guy, and it's like nerd, and he can't get in the lift properly, so the lift breaks. And then when she goes up, it's like she meets this little like Danny DeVito scientist, and he's like, oh, the CD Mini, and we can save people with the CD Mini, and you're like, oh yeah, but it's too dangerous. And then you find out that someone who used to use the CD Mini went crazy, and then she goes up to this apartment, and then I think she like opens something underneath a wardrobe, and it's like some weird carnival Narnia, and then she sort of goes around into a Ferris wheel, and you're like, and then it's like, what's going on here? And then she manages to get, and then I think she's Paprika at this time, so she's got like two alter egos. It's like the woman and Paprika, and then you find out there's some like sort of, and then when she comes back out,
it feels a little bit spoiler territory.
But then you find out that CD Mini is like sort of corrupted people's minds, and then you go back and see the Danny DeVito scientist, and he thinks that real life is then a dream. So it's like, it's sort of the dreams and real life sort of merge together, and then he runs around with his like, I think he runs off with his all these pants on, and then he jumps through a window and then fucking splats on the floor, and then the ambulance come, Nino, and they pick him up, and
is that Nino for the spoiler police?
That is the spoiler police.
And then you're like, right, we've got to solve this mystery, like Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? And then
that's a good story.
And then you're like, oh, and then and then it all just the story just carries on from there, like what's happening to the world, and then Parade kicks in, like she what was it? Oh yeah, no, I forgot about the Parade scene, because it's then you find out one of the doctors was using the CD Mini, and then he stole it for himself, but then he used to wear it all the time, and then he had this sort of weird thing. It was like all these little baby dolls walking through these countryside. But you said to go on and then talk about it.
You forgot about the guy being shot in the corridor.
Wow, that's spoilers, man. Oh man, I forgot about the story bit, because there's a guy, and he's a detective, and he has his problems. Oh, I forgot about the detective. Oh my god, I've got to start.
Did we get the giant baby?
No, I've got to start.
The giant baby.
No, I forgot all about this. So you find, so there's a detective and he goes to watch the circus show, and then he goes, oh, and this is right at the start, and it's like he goes to a circus show, and he's trying to find this murderer, and it's like this case that's always been like racking his brains. You can't solve it, and then you're like, I'm like, and it's like, scientist, I can't solve this mystery. Every time my dreams are sort of cursed by the fact I go to this circus, and then I fall down onto this like train, and then it's not a Cabernet train, but then he falls onto this train, and then he goes into a hotel, and then it all sort of like weird wobbly floor, and then it's like he's going, and it like I can't get the guy.
I don't need to see this film ever again. I need
the CD Mini.
Just give me a blow-by-blow account of every single fucking scene in the film, and you'll be able to. Yeah, man. This is like Will and the Star Wars prequel trilogy. It's crazy.
If I had enough money,
but they're flying through space, and they fucking lands on a space station. The gas comes out.
You know what it needs? We need to do it. We need to do a Hear Me Out where it's just solidly a story time of an anime, and in my interpretation, I feel like that would be such a good idea for a Hear Me Out show in the future. Just I sit down. A special where I just sit down and read my interpretation of an anime. It's like a story time.
My biggest party trick is I can recite the whole of Steamed Hams at double speed. But
we've not got time. We've got 10 minutes left. Right. Honorable mentions in this list.
Is it just basically Inception? Anime with the pets.
Yeah, I was going to ask where Inception comes in the
Inception.
Canon.
No, so Inception in the canon is actually inspired by Paprika. And that's a fact. That is a fact.
If I was rich, bold, and brave enough, I would have just got my Paprika disc there and just snapped it because I don't need to watch it again. But I'm not brave, bold.
I didn't even
nor
spoil it.
original.
I didn't even spoil it. There was such a rubbish
did you spoil it?
description of it. That was it was such a rubbish description of it. It was awful.
It definitely wasn't. It was detailed down to a T.
No, it wasn't. That
Yeah,
even.
if you don't want to watch Paprika after that description,
It wasn't even that descriptive. It wasn't even that descriptive. I didn't even say anything.
Definitely was.
right, your honourable mentions.
Oh, I wasn't. It wasn't even that descriptive. Honourable mentions. There's plenty.
3.
No.
Wow.
Only three. Yeah, I will say only 3.
No, not
You're like, no, I get more than 3.
It's my show. It's my
podcast,
show.
my rules.
My rules. Yeah.
My house.
Come
I get
into
to
my
go on the
house and
PlayStation.
disrespect my podcast.
Right. Okay.
That's control.
Honourable mentions have got to be Devil is a part-timer, and I will put Laid Back Camp in that 3, and
Yeah.
Gate.
Say that a bit louder, Johnny.
I know number 1. I think I know number 1.
Gate.
Season 2.
Does it
Gate.
start with K, Johnny? Does it end in a R, Johnny?
Is it Kisniver?
It is indeed. Kisniver is number 1.
I knew it.
Fuck. I
knew
wish
it.
that got in when it went up for voting when I was
Yeah.
when I was technician.
That's not Kisniver music.
And
Look how pretty she
I-
is.
I
Oh,
wish-
look at this. Look at this. Oh, it's my book.
Did you forget about Konosuba or something?
I thought Konosuba would be top
No, I
5.
like. I think it's Konosuba's
It's
kind of
not
like.
honourable.
Nah, Konosuba's like my go-to fun show. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like what K-On! Is to me.
it's not. It's a bit ridiculous, but I mean, I still love it. Like,
It's not a
Well,
good
rather,
show.
sorry,
but
it's
a
kind of
fun
like what
show.
Yuri is to me. It's like it's not one that I rated the highest, but if I'm looking for like a go-to, I can watch any episode of this at any time, and I will feel better. Like that's the show. That
If
is
my
the show.
list was solely my personal enjoyment, my rating would be down to like 2.5 to 3 out of 10.
Well, I thought
would be
that's
very
what we were
low.
doing. That's what I did for the man. I fucked doing like the top rated shit. I just did what's
I did like things that I appreciated the
Things
most
I
and
love the
enjoyed.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
like
the
Love
one
Live
put
is not
away.
a show I would put in any top 5 list of mine, but on a sheer like brainless enjoyment, Love
yeah,
Live.
can't get this leaflet back in.
Yeah, just like AJ, top tier.
Top tier, Keijo. Yeah, Kisniver. I mean, it's.
I would say tell us about
Big-
Kisniver.
Boku no Pico
Nah,
is
probably-
my
probably
favorite
Kisniver.
anime.
Yeah, that'll take far too long.
That's too
Kisniver is a
long. Basic
complicated show.
basic
It's
hypnosis
not
is.
that complicated, but it's a pretty
Basic
complicated
hypnosis
show.
is that it's
I
it's
like-
it's
recommendation.
they all feel each other's pain, and that is
I
it's
like Fate Apocrypha because the pig hair character has a dick.
all the characters feel each other's pain, and then you sort of find out like all of the story
I like
behind
that
it.
voice actually. I might
But,
file
yeah,
that
it's
character
sick.
for future use.
And I wrote an article. I wrote an actual article about it. And that was
You
a
did
gen-
write an
I did
article
write an
about
actual.
it,
I did write an actual written text.
And Tinsel stole it. She stole the.
What a theft!
So-
What theft happened? It was almost like I wrote it for mine. It's like that looks nice and a lot better than I
No,
wrote.
she stole the idea.
Are you a
She stole
plagiarist? Oh, you a plagiarist?
I'm not a
Tinsel
plagiarist.
stole
I
the
wrote
idea.
it. No, I wrote it. I'm only messing. I did actually write an article about it.
She stole the idea of like what I learned from Kisniver or whatever you named it for her own gains, her own personal gain.
I hope that it's almost like no original idea, Musty Dutch. It's none of that. It's almost like it's on. I never said
love,
it.
Like,
I never
plug
said.
from Tinsel in the
I never
chat
said
there.
it was.
It's almost like it's on my blog.
You can check out my blog at girlhanneranime.wordpress.com. Ha ha ha. Follow me on Instagram for all my adventures in China.
We're gonna have to do Tinsel Sparkle's Chinese adventure at one point. We've got to get her on one of these podcasts.
I need Michael on at the same time to know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable to say.
So what names do you get
To
from
be
going
honest-
your hand down the stairs?
That did not happen. That party did not happen. It was a 100% politically correct party. Kisniver, number one.
that was a brilliant night.
Yeah, it was. But that's
Jokes, personal.
that's personal off
personal life.
off stream in jokes we
That's
can
a
talk
story time
about.
for
That's
another time, the whole
story
thing
time
can't be
for
good
another
as
time.
well.
Yeah.
It is coming up to 11 o'clock. o'clock English time, almost 3 hours live stream. So we are. We did a lot. Yeah, we did a lot there. So you didn't actually rate my list, guys. What do you think of my list? Was it a good list? Was it a bad list? I think it was.
Give me a blow by blow 5.
So Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, A Place Further Than Universe, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Paprika, and Kizunaiba.
I would say for me, JoJo and Cabaneri pull it down, so you get a 6 from me, Johnny.
You get a 6 from me. So I've not
6.
seen Place Further.
Look, I feel scammed out of rating.
I wasn't even memeing with that list.
I give a solid 7 again.
7. That's what I wanted. 7 is what I rated Sonic Adventure, so I'll take that. Yeah, right, well, we're done. The anime special, the first ever special, big multi-guest stream anime special is done. Thank you for everyone. Thanks everyone for taking part. Thank you for all my guests, Mika-san Lee, Shinon, Ill Intelligence, and your boy Will, brackets with the good taste. Everyone go and follow Will Storms. Divisional clock. I might come and say hello. I'll come and say hello. We'll do. Yeah, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed. This episode. And I look forward to doing more big podcasts. We can't do specials all the time, but this is definitely a good.
Special, otherwise.
This was no, it's not special. It's got to be special. Next week we actually do. We have a guaranteed guest. The guest that was meant to be on this week, which was quick rescheduling to sort of do a special this week. Next week we're going to have. We're going to be back to the original plan. We've got the Riff Live on. He's making his comeback, so I've given him the opportunity to come on to the stream to talk all about that. Someone that Ill Intelligence does know from his car footballing. And another university pal. So yeah, should be a good show. I hope we can tune in for that. Of course, we are sponsored by the wonderful Fierce PC. You can use code MUSSY at the shop for 5% off. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Eric Birigense coming in when we're about to end the stream. You absolute lunatic. But that doesn't matter because that doesn't matter. Eric Birigense.
He should have said. Oh, it's all my favourite people, and Craig is there too.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Will's list perfect circles his head. If he sits back, it perfectly fits around his head.
It does as well.
Mine is just mine's all over me.
We do need to get Harry on. I am working on it. I'm working on Harry, but it's very hard to get him on. Not our Harry that we know is another Harry.
Yeah, it's even harder to get him off.
It's really hard to get his man.
So, but no problem, Mr. Eric Birigense, because you will be able to watch this VOD back after. It will be on the YouTubes and the video collection of all the other shows we've had so far. But we're going to end it there. We don't need to do a massive song and dance.
Bang on the hour.
Bang on the hour. Yeah. Fierce PC, go check them out, please, because they're doing a wonderful thing, partnering in helping this stream get places. And have a wonderful evening. I could play the ad again. I'm not that kind. Nah. I'm gonna play it out. Say goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.